Do not disturb is
We just had some technical difficulties, and that was,
Except I totally left.
stuff on our end. Don't worry about it. Hello, friends. Welcome to Here Be Dragons. I guess there's dragons here. We do have a new face for Season 4. You'll learn more about him as we go along. But let's kick it off quick with our sponsors, players. Give us a rundown of our sponsors.
Well, look, first and foremost, and also alphabetically, we always like to talk about one of our favorites, Blacksmith Craft Dice. They roll just what you need.
It's true.
They are a beautiful metal polyhedral. I'm going to pull all three of the D20s I'm going to be rolling with today. I've got some burnished bronze, which we just handed out in our last giveaway, and there might be some more of those to come. I've got this beautiful one whose name I'm going to be honest, I totally forgot the names for the other two. But this is a nice blue and
Pretty
gold
blue
set.
dice, pretty black
Some
dice.
black. These are because Garth wears blue, and these are because he's a divination wizard, and I felt like they felt like that. But you should check them out. They're on Amazon.com, really affordable, and some of those newer sets actually come with extra D6s along with it, which is a beautiful thing. Lauren,
D6s for days.
there's all the D6s that come with that wonderful set. Lauren, why don't you tell us about one of our other sponsors?
Yeah, we also Critical Treasures used to just make dice bags, and now she literally makes basically everything D&D related. Super fun, super cute, and she sells out fast. So get your Christmas shopping done now.
Yeah, she's got some great advent calendars that have started being added to the store. I'm pretty sure she listed a bunch of them, and then they sold out. So she's gonna try and make more, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But you gotta get crack-a-lackin' on that.
Dice advent calendars.
Now, I believe on the DM end, you might have one of our other sponsors over there that really gives you a jolt to your day.
Always.
Caffeinated Kobold. That brews just what you need, because that right there is just what you need to start the day, to keep the day going, to make sure you can get through a session later at night because you spent all day prepping for it. I believe both the Jareds know all about that feeling in life.
None.
Oh no, 20 minutes before, that's when I start.
Well, wow, because it doesn't show. It doesn't show. It
he
feels like you
preps for
freaked
DM
out over it
campaigns
for
the-
weeks.
He preps for DM campaigns
those are-
the way people clean for guests. Like 5 minutes before.
Throw it in a corner. We're good.
Exactly. So that is, I believe, all three of our sponsors. Now, there are other ways that you can be giving as well when it comes to the stream. Those are our sponsors who are helping us, but you can also help us through a lot of your donations. You can donate $5, and you're going to pull from the Mild Magic Box. You can donate $10 and give a reroll to a character.
Yeah.
And then you can donate $20 and a challenger approaches, who will either be on the player side or they will be on the DM side. And we're going to have to immediately fight them, and he's going to try and kill us with a dragon lich or something like that.
Always.
And once we also have our hype boss, so you'll see the health bar. Whoever brings that health bar all the way down to the end gets to become our new hype boss.
What?
And you get to assign a nat 20 to any player or DM of your choice.
The way you can knock that hype boss down is through bits, subs, tips, follows, hosts, etc. Basically, any way that you engage with our channel will knock that hype boss down and potentially make you the next hype boss. Right now, we have 380 points on that hype boss. Basically, it's 1 point to 1 cent, 1 point to 1 bit, roughly. You get some little bonuses in there. We want to quickly call out thanks for bits already, for resubs.
What?
We've got a few resubs and bits that have come in. And I want to say, Shadow Reels, you already get to give out the first Nat 20 because as I was setting up today, it was the real Gobshite that was the one sitting in the chair. And now it's Shadow Reels sitting in the hype boss chair.
Yeah, I think Crossbones had given a few bits earlier too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you for
There we go.
for all that love, everybody.
Shadow Reels, it looks like it was on your resub, so feel free to call out which player or DM gets that Nat 20 for use.
Well, I think it was last show.
No, it was this show.
Oh.
This show today. We have the Nathan gets a vegetable and boop the snoot and give the dog a treat show points coming soon. We just need to figure out how we can get notified of those so you don't miss out.
Yeah, darn, did we not set up the give Nathan a
Oh,
vegetable?
that's
Not yet,
fun. I
not
have the whole
yet.
salad bowl, right?
The
No.
give Nathan a vegetable
One of these
is
days
going to
we're
be
gonna get set
way
up.
less points than give the dogs a treat. So there's going to be way more carrots going into you than treats going into the dogs.
Give Nathan a vegetable, 50 show points. You earn those very quickly. Give a dog a treat,
I'm
10,000
pretty
show
sure-
points.
I'm pretty sure if we establish the vegetable thing, that we're just gonna have 3 hours of me eating vegetables, and I won't like that.
But you got to set a good example for people, Nathan.
Come on.
Right? Captain America, didn't he do those videos of like, eat your veggies?
No,
I...
he did. So you got detention.
Oh, you know. Detention, vegetables. Anyways, we're here for D&D.
We're here for D&D.
right?
Yeah. Cool. So with that, look forward to some of those ways you can engage with the channel through points just by watching the show. If you haven't already, you can unlock our 2 emotes using those points. More to come on all the other fun stuff you can do. And we do like having all of those ideas. Push just had some come through chat. Feel free to hop in on our Discord, which is below, and you can join in and give us more ideas. And Sarah BC1 is now the new hype boss, thanks to 1,000 bits coming in. We've got 2
Yeah,
nat
it-
20s.
Oh, Shadow Wheels gave it to Hoy.
So Hoy, you get
To
the
couch
first.
side.
You get the first nat 20. And Sarah BC1 gets to assign the next nat 20 to anyone on screen. And while we're waiting for that, there it is. Hoy gets the second one. Hoy, you've got 2 nat 20s. You're just gonna come in strong.
This first fight, I'm gonna be unstoppable.
I also just want to point out that it's Lucas Martinez is talking about gargoyles, and then Push the Fisherman said the Mighty Ducks cartoon. Literally the 2 things I've been watching on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So thank you for jumping into my brain space.
Sneak and Zelda.
All right. We're going to dive into the show. We do read your comments, and we have jumped into your comments already, but we will continue to engage as we go along with the show. So yeah, let's dig in. I believe we left the players in the town of Stonehaven. A nice, wonderful place where, you know, people just turn to stone overnight and sometimes wake up days later. Other
A
times,
scroll.
the next day. We do have a scroll to draw, and I will draw a scroll out of the box as I'm describing this first scene. The players are waking up. We do have Garth, Ari, and Valari who are in Linus, the magical pillow fort tent that is set up in our wonderful inn. The night before, the bartender did turn to stone in front of their very eyes, and as the players are waking up, they don't know what to expect in this creepy town of Stonehaven. Now, it was such a wonderful rest that it does look like Ari wakes up with the feeling of inspiration for her day. Thank you to the donation. The Twitch gods have smiled upon you in your sleep. And every morning starts off just the same in this wonderful little tent. A plate of biscuits has been made, and the pillow goblin is standing by, ready to hand those out. In this creepy, wonderful tent named Linus. Players, what do you do?
I eat some biscuits.
I would like to check in on the pillow goblin just one more time. The one that I catapulted
The one
on act.
The one that you catapulted on accident, you do see sitting off under a pillow tree, about 30, 40 feet off, and he's munching on a couple pillow muffins, it seems. Takes a bite, and fluff and stuffing gets consumed into this mouth that looks like a puppet. You have no idea where it goes to. And he looks around and gives a little wave, a little red piece of yarn hanging off of his sewn-up arm. And you do see there's a few other bits of yarn tying together some of the holes that were caused from the battle yesterday.
Good to see you mending well, there, friend.
Waves, flailing his arm at you.
All right. Valari, you awake yet?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you hadn't said anything.
Wow, she's feeling talkative this morning.
She doesn't usually say that much.
Right.
Am I remembering correctly that the innkeep turned to stone last night?
Yes.
Was that a dream?
Yes. Both of the innkeepers, when we went
Oh,
to
sorry, I
bed-
stepped on Valari's toe.
Zelda bit it.
No,
Sorry.
it was the pup.
Okay. I was like,
Astro.
wait, I missed something.
Astro stepped on her
saw
toe.
the,
Yes, both the innkeepers were stone last time I checked. Some of the town was as well. Luckily, we are not, as they said that the curse does not permeate to those just visiting the town, rather those who were here when it was installed as a curse upon people.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, now that I finished my British biscuit, I think I'm gonna go down and see if he's, alive enough to make me some Java.
Yes, I suppose we could pack things up here. Valari, are you good to head out for the day?
I guess so.
Wow, she is so chatty today. I'm loving this new Valari.
So we pack up our stuff and head on down.
As you walk down the stairs of this inn, it's quiet as you would expect it to be. But you do notice a man standing at the bar, wiping it clean. He looks up at you all. Hello. Welcome to the inn. I'm sure you were greeted by my counterpart. And he points to the barkeep that was turned to stone in front of your eyes. I must have been in my usual spot in the corner. My name is Fendi. Did you sleep all right? And I don't have any record of foods that you wish to eat or not eat. The last barkeep is not good at taking notes. Do you need anything?
Just
Brown juice?
Simple breakfast of hams, biscuits, eggs, bacon, sausages, fruit, perhaps a bit of cheese to sprinkle on the eggs. Yes, a bit of fruit.
Croissant?
Any sweet rolls, yes, like a croissant, which is very buttery. And then, yes, a nice, as she asked, brown Java.
Oh, yes.
And also maybe a nice fresh orange juice if you have it. I haven't had one of those in forever, not since we were kings and queens.
Valari, beer?
I'll have an ale and meat for the dog.
Okay.
What?
Well,
There was this really good bakery at the town we were in. You don't happen to have a shadow bakery here, do you? No, okay.
the barkeep
Okay.
just backs into the kitchen, and you just hear pots and pans clanging. It seems as if he's quickly trying to pull together this large order. A young boy hustles out and puts some fruit on the table. Here you go. Dad said you want some of these fruits. I'll get some juice. And I heard that there's you wanted that Java stuff. I know I can find it. And he goes busting out the front door and runs down the street. It seems like a mess, as there seems to only be the man and his child running the inn for the morning.
Oh, yes, I wonder if the other one must still be stone, then. Fascinating how that happens to people here, really.
Do you think it happens to the kids, or do they, you age into turning into stone?
I wonder, yes, that would be interesting. What if someone had a child? Would they also have the curse? What if someone was having a child? No, I don't want to picture it.
No, we're not gonna go there.
No.
What a strange place.
Strange place
Aw,
indeed.
come on.
As you sit there and enjoy your breakfast a bit, the barkeep steps out a few more times and slides small amounts of the order onto the table. First, you get a few glasses of a pulpy juice that appears to be an orange juice. You do see a bit of a rind sliced and put on each of the glasses. One of them looks like a lemon, so it might be a lemonade, it might be an orange juice. It is citrus of sorts. He comes back out with some meats, and he ends up tossing a bit to Astro, who's sitting on the floor waiting for his breakfast. And the town starts coming alive. You see one or two people walking through out front, but it is still eerily quiet for a normal town. The small child bursts in and holds up one vial of the brown liquid that is Java. I hear you wanted some of this. There's more just about 6 doors down. There's a guy making all of these home brews, and that one's supposed to be extra sweet. And he busts back into the kitchen.
I down it.
Perfect. That's where you get
Shoot
your
it.
inspiration from.
I love it is amazing to me how you can handle hot liquids
I
in
was
just
thinking about that.
right. Me myself, I would have to wait on it. I would have to sit there while it cools until it was a reasonable temperature.
This is not Garth speaking.
No,
Just so
This
yeah.
look, character and player unite at times.
Guys, but it's so good. You just drink it and then you just feel so much better, and I'm so awake and I'm like ready to go. And maybe we should leave this place because I don't want to turn to stone. I know he said we wouldn't turn to stone, but I think we might turn to stone if we stay here too long. Because like, what if you become a resident? Like, if
I
you've been here
reach
for
out and I
Alright,
slap her
alright.
in the face.
You really need to start eating food before you drink the Java. It cannot go straight into your system.
Yeah, okay. But like, there wasn't any food out, and the Java was here first.
The young boy comes back up. There's a letter that was left here. I don't know. It was while I was sleeping last night. He sets it on the table. The letter just says adventurers on the front.
Clearly, this must be for us. We haven't run into really any other adventurers.
No, just the tourists and the statues. So
Mm-hmm.
open it.
I pull out my small dagger that says "Blink" scratched into the side of it, even though it's not one. And I just go.
As you read through it, it does say that there is more information about the town and the curse to be had. And as promised, this letter will direct you to where to go. And that will be a meeting point this afternoon up the hill and at the back of town. And it is signed with a very odd name. VWENIIL is what you see as the name signed at the bottom.
WENIIL.
VWENIIL.
Bueno? Bueno?
Bueno.
BWNO. Huh.
Interesting. Can I roll history to see if I can determine?
To determine what? You just cut out, sorry.
Oh no. To determine language of origin for the name?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. History check here. I have a pretty good history, so that makes it a 9.
A 9. Ooh. You recognize it not to be of halfling, and most likely not human. Otherwise, you think it might be elf, fae, drow, dragonborn, or potentially abyssal.
So you're saying it's not dwarvish?
There you go. Not dwarvish. Now, as breakfast is finishing, and the Shadow Reels Bakery closes down the street, you hear "Last call for sweets and baked goods," and then a door clings shut. Outside, there's a little bit of a hustle. There's a few young boys running around and pointing down to the entrance of town, and they're kind of whispering to one another, and one of them leans in. So anybody in here know anything about the stone garden? Anything happening about the stone garden last night? No, okay. And he pops his head back out, and they walk down the street.
What? Stone garden?
They start walking down the street, and as you hear the next door, you hear the kids peeking in. Stone garden? Anyone know about the stone garden? And they bump into a man clad in bright, shiny armor out on the street. Excuse me, mister. You look new to town. Have you been to the stone garden? As they look up at a half-elf in front of them.
I mean, look around. It's all stone. That's stone. These are great statues.
That's my uncle over there, sir.
Your uncle carved that? Your uncle's got a gift.
No, you're new here, huh? That's actually my uncle. He turned to stone 2 days ago. Hopefully he wakes up soon. Yeah, they're people. They're not actually...
Oh. No wonder that attention to detail was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it is 100% lifelike.
You guys got, like, a witch hanging out? Like, what's this all about?
One of the other boys walks forward. Excuse me, sir. It's a curse that we've had for hundreds of years. I'm actually 112 tomorrow. But...
well, happy birthday.
Oh, man.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a little hunk of ore, and just he concentrates on it for a second, and plof, it turns into a little high-pitched whistle. It's like, enjoy.
Oh, okay, cool, thank you. And he starts tweeting it and running down the street, and the other boys with him follow along, and they start laughing and giggling about the new toy that they had gotten. And this happened just outside of the inn. The rest of the party did kind of watch this interaction as this all went down.
Sir? Excuse me, sir?
Me?
Yes, you, in the shining armor.
Oh, hello.
Hello, yes, question, how did you do that wonderful magic? And I pull out, like, a book, and I just have a bit of lead pencil ready. How? Tell me.
Oh, well, I can only do it once. It's
Ever?
No, like tomorrow I could do it again. It's like...
Oh, my.
It's a power that's been bestowed upon me by the deities above.
Which deities, perchance?
You know,
Do you know?
I never
Gods.
bothered to ask.
The gods gave you the power to make a whistle? What'd you do
Oh,
with
I can
them?
make anything. As long as
There's
it's got
only one.
some metal in it, I can make it. But once a day.
Fascinating.
And if you have
Yes.
more metal, I'll just forge it out for you. He, like, taps a little blacksmith hammer at his side.
Yeah, buddy. I give him a go to fist bump. Smith. Nah.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
So, these aren't statues, you know that, right? These are like
People?
people.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, no.
they're statues.
Are we? Hello?
There you
No.
are.
It appears your portal is being a bit cantankerous today.
Did you
could
guys turn
take
these people
5
into
minutes to
statues?
fix it if you want to keep introducing this character.
As this is all going on,
Exactly.
one of the young boys comes running back past. So, if we broke the whistle, do you know how to fix it?
I can do it tomorrow, man.
Okay. Tomorrow. Okay, I'll find you here tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not stoned. And he runs off.
What a
So
weird
wait,
little
it's
boy.
been 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes and the toy's broken.
That sounds like a kid.
That's just real life right there.
Not Barth.
Now, as this is all going on, and you're talking about the blacksmith powers and the magic that you had just watched, a young girl walks up. Have you seen my friends? They were running around, and it was a couple boys that were causing trouble. I've been told that I have to make sure that they get their schoolwork done. Do you know which way they went?
Why, certainly, little dude. That way.
Cool. And they were looking for, I think, the Chirma. It was a beast in the rock garden. Apparently the Chirma's missing. So if you see that too, let me know. And she goes hustling off in the direction that Thadric had pointed.
Thadric turns to these guys. I don't know what that is.
There's a beast missing from the rock garden?
Some sort of rock monster.
Well, based on what we've seen last night, it probably came back as not rock. It unstonified. And so it's probably somewhere around here.
Oh, because of the witch's curse. Yeah. That little dude had all kinds of information.
As you say that about the beast coming back, Astro kind of looks around and sniffs up in the air and bristles his fur, just looking around for whatever this beast could be.
What did he call it? A chairman?
You heard Chirma, something like that.
Can I roll like a knowledge check to see if I would know anything?
Yeah, you could roll a history. You could roll, I guess, an insight on that as well. Sarah BC1, thank you for the sub. King Praiser, thank you for the follow. CXB, thank you for that $5 from earlier for the scroll.
Oh, and then really quick, I did see a bunch of comments about the little tiny puppy cone. She's fine. She had her spay last weekend, so...
And we were getting free HBO, so, you know.
So it's staying.
That little satellite dish works out.
So, did you decide, should it have been history? It probably history, right?
Yeah, probably history.
So that would be a 19.
A 19. You can't say that you've ever heard of a Chirma or a Cheerman, but you've heard other terms similar, and you do recall when you were on the streets as a kid, the stories of the Chimera.
Chimera is like part person, part beast, right?
Chimera is a mix of things. Usually it's a mix of multiple creatures, yes.
Okay. So that's probably not a good thing.
Did you relay what you understood from that?
Well, I was just trying to make sure I knew what the kid was even talking about.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all.
yeah. So, we do understand on Valari's side that it might be a chimera that the young lady was talking about. And with the worried look on the pup's face and with Valari coming to some of that understanding, I'm sure the rest of the group would understand fully that a beast missing is a bad thing. Now, Adventure Party, that you've got this cool new dude with you. What is it that you wish to do in town?
Well, we do have this invitation to learn more about this curse.
True.
But I will let you all speak as to that new information and if it should guide where we go.
The note did also say it was this afternoon for the meeting point. And with the donation from JavaMan 1964, we've drawn a scroll of Deity of Fear. The DM gets inspiration.
Ew.
Bro.
Well, if we don't have to meet anyone till the afternoon, we should probably find out if anyone saw this chimera.
Well,
Hmm.
what did it look like before it left the garden? Because then I could help look for it.
Well, we didn't really go in the garden. We should probably ask those kids.
The kids aren't seen on the street. You don't hear them about, but there are a couple older folk walking past, doing their morning chores, hitting the shops. Anonymous does jump in with a $10 tip. So Anonymous, whoever you are, we get a re-roll to Ari. You become the new hype boss, so if you want to give away who you are, you can also assign that free nat 20. So we get the re-roll to Ari, and then the nat 20 somewhere else.
Thank you.
Or they could message you directly.
Otherwise, you could also just,
Random.
we'll give it a little bit and we could just roll the dice.
Yeah.
You need to stay anonymous.
That's fair.
Yeah, if you want to stay anonymous, you can either message the channel. We can wait a little bit and roll the dice. If we don't hear anything in about 5 minutes, we will roll the dice for who gets that nat 20. But anonymous is.
Birthday boy.
Yeah, it's Nathan's birthday.
Oh yeah, we could give it to the birthday boy if we don't hear anything. But the few adults walking past are carrying a few groceries. One's carrying a bunch of leather and wool. And it seems like he's headed to work on a few things. And then there is also another young man walking past, and he's got a cart with a few books on the top of it and a few other things sunken inside.
Okay, I read that right. Nat 20 is for Thadric.
Mm-hmm.
The not 20.
But also, did you say something about books? Oh,
Yeah, there were some books.
I would like to look at books.
As you hustle over to the cart and the young man walking past, excuse me, sir, I'm just trying to get these down to the bookshop. Are you very interested in any of these? Because the shop will open up tomorrow. We're grand opening.
Grand opening of a bookstore?
Yes.
And like Garth does a little happy dance. Can we stay for can we just be here for the grand opening for the bookshop? That's all I want. That's all I want out of life is to be at a grand opening of a bookshop. If I could do that every day, I would do that every day. Can we
Didn't they run out of Java?
I don't need Java. I need knowledge.
Here, I'll just give you this one on the house. Just calm down. We'll see you tomorrow. And he hands over a book that says on the front of it, the in-depth knowledge and understanding of the bumblebee.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I start perusing it.
As you peruse it in-depth guides about the bumblebee, and you hear the crackling of thunder up above in the sky. And as you do, you notice that purple lightning strikes in 4 places on the ground in front of you. Thank you to the god Sarah BC1. You hear a cackle, and in that cackle and the lightning,
Oh, shoot.
4 beings appear in front of you.
4?
4 beings appear in front of you.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a shame it's not 4 bumblebees.
There are two guardsmen that look like they're from different towns who are shaken and are looking about, and they both pull their swords. One guardsman is a orc, and he starts mumbling something in Orcish, and the other is an elven man. Where am I? What am I doing here? And as they're looking about, the two other bits of smoke start to dissipate, and one, a giant owlbear, steps out and looks around, and then gets this bloodlust as he looks down at Garth, the small being in front of him, and he licks his beak as he sees his morning snack. And next to him, a small puff of smoke ripples out, and there's a ram. This ram has glowing eyes, and in the glowing eyes, there's a pinkish, sparkly tint. It's got black coat, and it has a cracked horn as if it had slammed into something quite powerfully recently. At this point, the two guardsmen that had come out of nowhere stare in at these two beasts and look back at you four. Apparently, two friends and two foes have approached at the cackling of this god.
Also, Sarah BC1, you became the new hype boss, so don't forget to drop who you want to give that nat 22 in the comments.
Yep.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm drawing my sword and yelling out, "What the hell is this place?"
I think he gave me a really powerful book.
As you open the book, this all happened.
Right, exactly.
Must be.
It's like that book about cats, except this is. Let's see. That's a brigadier general. That is a owl bear. That is a billy goat. And that is Boris the orc. It's a book about bees. I understand.
Now, players, you all need to roll for initiative, as there's this owl bear ready to chomp on Garth, and a goat with a very strange look in his eye.
20. First dice roll is a nat 20.
There you go.
Oh, that should put me up towards the top of that initiative list.
Close.
And Valari gets that nat 20.
Whoa.
Boom, boom.
Hey, girl, hi.
Valari, you get the nat 20.
Yeah.
Perfect. We've got a lot of nat 20s in Thadric's court. I know that for sure.
Well, 3.
3 is a lot. That's a lot
Gotta
of
make
raw
them
damage.
feel welcome.
Well, I rolled an unnatural 20, so I'll just take that.
All right, so going down from top, Astro, what did Astro get for his roll?
Oh, I forgot to roll for him.
Yeah.
Does he have a bonus?
What is his die?
18.
18. So he's got a 21 on his initiative.
So, 21.
Let's see here. Ari, your initiative.
21.
21. Garth,
23.
23. Thadric,
20.
20. And Valari,
13.
13. All right. Now that I've added all of the fun to this battle,
3 days later.
easiest thing to make battle go short for new DMs out there, just skip people in the turn order. Don't worry about it.
Wait, what?
What? Yes. So you've got
Monsters get no turns.
a goat and an owl bear standing in front of you all. Garth has his nose in a book.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've moved everybody here on this fun app, we start our round. At the top of the turn order, wow, you guys lucked out. Wow. At the top of the turn order is Garth.
Yep. Now, technically, nobody has engaged with me yet, right?
No. The owl bear is
So
staring
Making
down
eyes
at you.
So yes, so I would be able to move away without an attack of opportunity.
Correct.
I do that.
All right.
And I think everything is just happening so quickly, and he's kind of got his hands full. So as he's kind of running away, fumbling to put the book away, he just kind of like turns around and shoots a firebolt at the BC, the owl bear that was standing right there.
Perfect.
He's shooting a firebolt over his shoulder.
He's shooting a firebolt as he turns and kind of fires, if I'm understanding that correct.
Got it. I was like...
And we will let the dice tell the story.
All right.
Honey, can you help me right here? What is that number?
0. That'd be
That would be a natural 20.
Oh, I thought you were
Not
going to say it's a 2
unnatural,
plus
not
0.
2 times in a row.
straight
Hacks.
up 20.
It's hacks.
Birthday magic.
Birthday magic, and are you using the wonderful...
Blacksmith
craft dice.
Blacksmith craft dice. Roll a nat 20, baby.
There it is. On the couch, if you watch earlier episodes and earlier seasons, there was a whole dance when we were all in person. But there we go. Lauren and Nathan have it right there. There's the nat 20 blacksmith craft dice dance. So how do you fire this shot? As it's a nat 20, I guess, under the arm?
Yeah, it's kind of like stuff the book, and then I've kind of got that like, boom. It's like a spin move. I almost like spin around and just kind of like throw it underneath.
All right.
And then, oh well, I guess yeah, we've got our special rules here. So it automatically does 20 points of damage because it's 2d10 now.
As he's explaining it, it's 2d10s, and then so he gets 20 points of damage to have at the base, and then he rolls his 2d10s on top of that. He's probably setting him up
So
at
29 total.
29
Nice.
total. So as you fire under your arm and you catch the owl bear, a tumbleweed kind of rolls past as time slows briefly.
Does the kid blow his whistle in the distance?
Your cloak kind of flutters. The kid blows the whistle in the distance. It's broken, so it kind of goes... And then fire hits the chest of this owl bear, and the owl bear lets out an unnatural scream. And it kind of stomps a foot and stares its breakfast down even more intensely. Ari, it's your turn.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Garth has a pretty good handle on the the owl bear. So I have my sword drawn, and I'm going to go attack the ram with the evil glowing eyes with my longsword.
All right.
Okay. That's gonna be a 25 for the first.
Okay.
Does that hit?
A 25. Yes, it does. It hits.
Oh, good. Okay. So that'll be 10 points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
And then that's a nat 20 on the second roll.
Oh! Boom,
Man.
boom, boom,
So-
boom.
There's something about that room. You guys aren't allowed to play in there anymore.
So that's 14 base, and then let me roll. And that's another 8. That's 14 plus 14. That will be 28 points of damage.
You don't put. Wait.
Do
You
I have
don't
that?
do the 6 again.
Never mind. What's that? 14 plus 8 then?
22.
22 points of damage.
And that is slashing damage, correct?
Yeesh.
All right. As you strike out at the goat and you hit the lustrous fur on this goat, it cracks almost as if you're hitting metal. And as you slice into this metal covering that seems to be on this goat, its eyes glow brighter and brighter, and now they are almost like giant balls of flame, of pink flame coming out of its eyes. Now that brings us to Astro's turn. Astro, watches the whole thing with the goat and gets intrigued, and he runs up and teleports and jumps at this goat, landing on its back and latching in just on the side of its head, and gets a nice bite into the neck of this goat and gets 6 points of damage. Thadric, it is your turn, sir.
All right. The old man and woman carrying the groceries and the book cart guy, are they still around?
The book cart guy, as soon as he saw this happening, kind of dove on his cart and rolled with it down the hill. And the two older folks who were carrying the groceries had dropped them and are kind of watching everything happening and trying to gather their belongings before they hustle off the street.
Okay, Thadric is going to run over, place himself between the old couple and the happenings. He's gonna raise his shield, and he's gonna with his left hand, he's gonna give a little pop and catch the light hammer from his belt and whip it across at the elk or the goat.
At the goat, all right.
Over there.
Yep.
And just because I want to join the Nat 20 club, I'm going to use one of these Nat 20s.
Perfect.
On it. So your rule is, what is your rule here?
You get full base damage, and then you roll on top of that.
Okay, now, when that's a sneak attack, how does that apply?
You get full base damage, and then you roll on top of that. So essentially, anything that you would roll, in terms of like usually Nat 20s are played as double up. You get all of your rolled dice once, and then you get to roll those dice again.
Okay.
Wait, do you mean to tell me you have a level in Rogue?
Yeah.
I do. Let's see. Okay.
I know nothing about your character, and I did the artwork.
He did it just for the sneak attack.
I actually did it more for like opening locks and stuff, but
Sneak attack's an added bonus.
I have to math because math is hard and I hate it.
That's what fingers are for.
22.
22 base damage.
22 total damage.
22 total damage. All right.
Yeah.
As you fling this hammer at the goat, you do hit it. And where were you aiming for on this goat? Because you have precision with this nat 20.
I mean, I guess the forehead would be the most logical spot. Well, I'm not bright, so yeah, the forehead.
There you go. And as you throw this hammer, it spins through the air and sinks into the forehead of this goat. And when it does, the goat actually explodes into a bright pink and purple lightning cloud, which does damage Ari and the dog for 5 points of damage each. It also damages the owlbear next to. So there's 5 points of damage that gets hit there. And because the two guards are close by, they get damaged as well. It's about a 8 to 10 foot radius that this explodes in. There's a scorch mark of hooves left in the ground, and the hammer just kind of drops right on the ground. Astro's hair is puffed up, and he's a little bit nervous as to what just happened as he was just on this thing moments ago.
I want to look around if anyone saw me throw it. I just want to lock eyes with one of them and go, I'm a really good blacksmith.
the old
you
couple,
say that to me, and I go, clearly.
The old couple behind you, you hear the old man go, whoa. And the old lady goes, oh, I wish I had one of those hammers.
For the gophers in your garden?
The orc guard, who had just been shocked and literally electrified, sees all of this happening and doesn't know where he's at, so he backs up and kind of starts to turn and looks down the street and starts to run down the street to the front of town as he just needs to get home to where he's at. As he does, he ends up running into the guy who is pushing his cart and toppling the cart of books.
Not the books.
The next one up is Valari.
And all that's left is the owlbear.
The owlbear and this scared elven guard who's staring the owlbear down now.
How close is he to the bear?
The guard is standing right next to him, about a 5-foot distance from the owlbear.
Okay. Sorry. And how bad does the owlbear look?
He's got a scorch mark in his chest
not
that kind of runs up over his shoulder. He's still standing up and staring down Garth as he saw the small creature in front of him earlier.
Help.
Help.
So I'm gonna dart off to the side,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna use my bracelet thing,
Okay.
my armband, you have to make a Constitution save.
So how does this look for people who don't know what your armband is?
So I'm wearing, I don't know if I have it near me, but it's a metal gold like armband that looks like a snake, and I have like, I don't know if they can see them, but because of it I have like tattoos.
Snake tattoos moving around your body.
And they're
yep.
like moving around. So when I activate this, it launches the tattoos off of me, and it attacks my target.
That it does. And you said Constitution?
Yeah,
The Constitution save is a 12.
that doesn't take. So you're gonna take. Do I have to roll attack?
You have to roll to hit. Yep.
Okay. So you're gonna take at least 1d of poison. So that is with my bonus, right?
Yeah, I believe it's proficiency on that one. You just
Okay,
add that
so that's a
straight up.
19.
19.
So
that
that
does
hit.
hit.
So you're gonna take 2d8s of my melee attack, and
Okay.
then 1d8 of poison.
All right. Me as in the owlbear me?
Yeah, well, you know.
No, Jared, you yourself.
Ah!
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
I didn't.
Now, Hoy has turned to stone.
I'm working on it.
I didn't get my dice out. I can't get the d8 out of the case. Okay. So it's gonna be 7 poison and 9 on the attack.
9 melee and 7 poison. All right.
Poison.
As the snakes launch out and hit the owlbear, you do see like a little bit of a green trickle of snakes up and into its fur and feathers, as if you see the poison taking hold of the owlbear. At this point, the elven guard standing next to him pulls out a short sword and slices at the owlbear twice, and Thadric ceases to exist and then comes back to existence here. So he slices out at the owlbear twice. The first one cuts deep into the flesh of the arm, and you see the blood trickle out. The second one just completely misses as the guard gets off balance. The owlbear's turn. The owlbear is looking worse for wear and not sure he can get his breakfast that ran away, so he turns and claws out at the guard next to him.
Thank goodness for NPCs.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. He claws out and then he snaps out at the guy. So he claws and hits, and then he chomps down on this man. So his claw to hit. Woo.
Expendable crewman.
You see the claw dig deep into the guy's chest, and then the owlbear clamps down and drops this man to his knees, and he's bleeding profusely, looking as if he is almost on death's doorstep. And the owlbear lets out a screech of joy as he has landed a hit. Back to the top of the turn order, it is Garth.
Okay, I want to make it so that this thing can't hurt this guy anymore.
So kill it.
So, well, I don't know if I could kill it,
Okay.
but I think I can waylay it. I am going to, I'm going to need the owlbear to make a strength saving throw. Oh, wait! The gods are speaking to me. It's an 8 on the dice.
Okay. Adding the owlbear's immense amount of 5 strength. That is 13 total.
I beat it by 1.
Woo!
That was a gamble. I didn't know how much strength it had. So Garth feels this power to just control this moment and reaches back and points to the ground underneath the owlbear, and up from it, I'm sure there's some cobblestone, but underneath the earth begins to wave and churn, and a hand sprouts up from the ground and grabs this owlbear, a hand that's just totally made of the dirt beneath it, and it is now restrained and will take 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
2d6 bludgeoning. All right.
Yep. Darn. That's only 3.
But he's restrained.
But he's restrained, which was a very important part of that moment.
As the hand shakes the owlbear around, the owlbear is able to keep himself upright from being smashed into the ground to take all sorts of damage, and does take 3. It is Ari's turn now.
Is there enough room for me to come stand in between the guard and the owlbear to attack, or are they too close?
They're very close, as the owlbear had just, bit down on him moments ago.
Okay.
But it's restrained, which would mean advantage on attacks?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Then I will just come up to try to draw some of his fire, and I'm going to take my sword, and we'll go for 2 swings.
Okay.
21.
To hit, that does hit.
Yeah. 12 points of damage on the first hit.
Okay.
And then I don't know that the second one's
You
gonna...
have a reroll.
Oh,
and
I'm
an inspiration
gonna use my reroll.
from Sarah BC1.
Yep. Thank you. Worth it. This one's gonna be 26 to hit.
Nice.
Thank you for that reroll. And that will also be 12 points of damage.
Nice.
All right. As you feel the first strike hit squarely, you know this next one's going to hit squarely. How do you finish off this beast in the earthen grasp?
You know, owl bear feels like an abomination. Is it head of an owl, body of a bear? Is that how this works?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
separate
So
the shoulders.
in front of the old couple, this head goes rolling as you have lopped it off, and it kind of starts rolling down the street towards the books that had toppled about 50 feet away.
Watch out!
The orc guard has gotten himself up on his feet, and he puts one foot on the head before it gets any further, and he just kind of looks around and gives a cautious wave to the group. And all is quiet for the moment. But then Astro, on his turn, he stands up and sniffs and lets out a bark up and behind, down the street, the opposite direction, so up the hill. You hear a flapping of wings and a thud and a skid, and in drops a winged beast with 3 heads. One of a dragon, one of a lion, and one of a goat. This would be the missing chimera.
I grabbed my shield.
It lets out a roar and looks at the group.
What?
And
What the hell is this place?
as the chimera is roaring from 2 of its 3 heads and bleeding from the 3rd, bah!
I was like, it's already damaged?
No, not bleeding. It is Thadric's turn.
That thing should be on a Bard album cover. Let's see. Well, I don't have my light hammer anymore.
Nope.
I will.
But you still have 2 nat 20s, so you're fine. Throw whatever you want.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to. I didn't expect a chimera to just show up like that. I will save the day. I draw my short sword, raise my shield, and I charge in and swipe at the goat head.
All right.
And I might as well just use the nat 20 to
Perfect.
have it.
Perfect. So, with your swipe of a sword, what is your damage that you roll, sir?
Total is, I can math real good. It's gonna be an 18.
An 18. All right. As you slice out at the goat head, you cut across the neck a bit, and it bleats out in pain, and you hear a huff and a puff from the dragon head on the opposite side of the beast.
And it blows your house down.
The guard who was bitten stands up and puts a hand on his shoulder and pulls out his sword, and he looks around. If this is the way I must go. He ends up throwing his sword and dropping to his knees as he throws his sword. The sword slices through one of the wings of this chimera, doing a little bit of damage and clanking behind the chimera. It is now Valari's turn. Uh-oh, she pulled a bunch of dice out from somewhere. Uh-oh.
All right, so buckle up.
Buckle up. Uh-oh.
First, I'm going to use my chromatic orb lightning with
Okay.
a nat 20.
Uh-huh.
Cast it at level 3.
It's dead. It's dead.
So that is 3, 4, 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, this battle brought to you by Sarah BC1. Thank you for all of the fun here in this battle.
So that's 5 d8s.
Woo!
So
As your
that's
base,
40 to start.
40 to start.
And I'm
okay.
gonna roll 5 more.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And while you're adding that up, where do you aim on this thing?
Probably like the
The
chest.
sternum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is the most broken part of our games.
18.
Is Valari with nat 20s and chromatic orb.
Okay, so 18 plus 5, that's 23. So that's 63 points of damage.
63 points of damage. Okay.
Which is also cast as a bonus action, by the way.
Oh, because you use Quicken.
GOP.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got
So
you've got the ability to cast a.
So I use 2
Cantrip.
of the Font Magic
Okay.
points. And I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Okay.
And let me roll that.
Sartin.
Well, lucky you, it doesn't hit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's a 9.
It's a 9 total? No, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. But also because that was the first time I cast a spell in combat.
Wild magic.
Now I have to roll.
Wild magic. So we've got a wild mage here, who flares up once in a while.
Once in a while.
A 35.
35. Okay.
Come on, unicorn.
No, I don't think that's it.
Let's see here.
Unless he changed the table, which is very possible.
I can't remember what your
Oh,
unicorn
the
was.
tables have turned.
All right. I need you to roll 2d10s, please.
Uh-oh.
2 more d10s?
2d10s.
That is 11.
11. All right. How old are you?
I think she's like. I didn't
Asking
print
tough
that
questions.
sheet, and I left my tablet in the other room, which is why I'm using the sheets.
Okay, so
I think it was like young 20s.
well,
Because I don't know.
Valari, as you've cast this, you
Turn into a baby.
feel like you're shrinking a bit, and you are now about a 9-year-old tiefling for the next 24 hours. And as you reduce in age, you have accidentally had this flare up before, but instead of being a 60-year-old tiefling, it went the other way this time.
You hear, oh, come on!
I feel like that's another roll on the wild mage table.
She gets angry. Well, the wild mage table may flare up a little bit more the rest of this episode.
So how long is this for?
The next 24 hours.
Oh, shit.
Is this like now? Are we like seeing what happens in Big?
Basically,
Where like now,
right?
now there's a kid walking around in a suit. Like this is a kid walking around in Valari's clothes,
I'm
and they're
so
too big.
Yeah,
thankful
a little bit.
that, like, what was it, like 7 months ago or something, maybe more, I assisted Jared DM a game where there was literally a 9-year-old tiefling, so I have like an idea
Yeah,
of
that
like
was a
what
fun
I'm
campaign.
into, because I'm not around kids, I don't know, but the way
Wow.
So we have a 9-year-old tiefling in our midst, who just did massive damage to this chimera. The crackling essence of this chromatic orb, it just ripples around the chimera. You see the fur stand up, the scales kind of ripple a little bit. The chimera looks like it's been hit pretty hard. And it is the chimera's turn, who stares down its close target and goes for a multi-attack here.
How tall am I compared to Garth now?
I mean, you're still taller than Garth. You're probably about 4 foot tall. All right.
A foot taller than me.
So the goat head slams out at Thadric, but misses just over his shoulder. The bite from the lion right next to him chomps just in front of Thadric's face, but as that chomp hits and the lion pulls back, there is a 19 on the roll for the fire breath that comes from the dragon head straight at Thadric.
Well, my AC is 20 right now.
I do need you to roll a dexterity saving throw for this
I
one.
can do that. I can do that. Uh-oh.
Your AC's at 20?
Yeah, well, I'm in half plate.
Yeah.
So when it's a 1 on the die, that's generally bad. Right?
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've rolled a 1 on this dexterity save.
You rolled a 1 on this dexterity save, so...
So I guess the only question is, what character should I roll next?
As you've rolled the 1, I'm gonna roll damage. We'll see if you need to roll a new character, and if we need new character art. It's his twin brother, right?
Badrick.
Been fun.
The other character that shows up is a little bit shorter.
A little bit
has
shorter.
A short blonde haircut.
Likes flannels.
Yep.
You
These
take
things are equally awesome.
26 points of fire damage.
Woo! Woo! I'm still up.
Squared to the face. Garth, it is your turn.
Yikes! Would I be able to roll a quick history check to see if I would have read about a chimera and any weaknesses it has?
At disadvantage here as you're in battle, I'll let you...
Fair.
Adrenaline is kicking.
Well, both of the dice rolled a 10. Plus 6 is a 16.
16. As you think about chimeras that you've read about in the past, you understand that they are very unintelligent, but they are quite strong with a very hefty demeanor about them. They take a lot of damage, but you don't recall any weaknesses.
Okay. And just because I think I missed it when I was making sure our internet worked, but Garth probably heard it.
Mm-hmm.
What had we heard about the chimera in general?
The chimera, basically, a child said the chirma was missing from the rock garden, and apparently there's a rock garden that had a chimera statue in it that was gone today and has now reappeared.
And they didn't say if it was like a very special thing that they really like having around or anything like that?
No, they just said it was missing from the rock garden. And given the size of this beast, it would be easily noticed from missing in the rock garden.
Cool.
So I can kill Fluffy.
Here's what I'm thinking. I am going to need to know, well, I'll say it this way. You're going to need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
But I know it's an 11.
All right, so it's a total of 13.
Okay. So we see this chimera. And all of a sudden, all three heads kind of go, as it just all of a sudden compacts in on itself, forms, and you have to be looking with a trained eye at the ground, where you would now see a snail.
Okay.
As it has been polymorphed into a snail.
The snail has 3 heads, however.
Yes, the snail has 3 heads. And I will say to my companions, if you crush the snail, the chimera will come back. So everyone would have to crush it together. And now it's a snail.
And now it's a snail right in front of Thadric's scorched face. I mean, I guess you're still in battle with a snail, Ari. It's your turn.
Bug box. I ain't touching it. I'm gonna run up to the guard who was like almost dead and try to like help stabilize him.
Okay.
I'm not a healer, but
Do you have medicine? Anything in medicine?
I have a +1 to medicine. I'll make a medicine check. See if I can,
Understand what's going on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He got beat up, real bad. In fact, he might have chicken pox.
How bad is that roll?
It was a 1.
Okay. As you reach out to stabilize him, I need you to give me a dexterity check, please.
Poor guy.
Oh no, is it a 1? You reach out to stabilize the guy. Instead of putting your hand on the wound, you just jam it square into his shoulder. He takes another 2 points of damage and passes out in front of you.
No more coffee. Whoops.
Wow. Okay. We're still technically in battle at this point. How long does that polymorph last?
1 hour, as long as I concentrate.
Okay. Astra runs up and starts sniffing and looks at the snail and kind of pulls back and looks at it and wags his tail and noses the thing a little bit and it rolls around. And he's kind of got an eye on it. Thadric, it is your turn here.
I walk over to the now passed out guard. Smoke and Ember still just kind of floofing off. And I look at Ari and I say, "It's okay. Failure's just an option to begin again." And I start a 10-minute cast of Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
So everyone who needs it, up to 6 of us, will get back 16 hit points.
Okay. I only needed 5, but I'm there.
Until we've dispatched of this thing or figured it out, Valari, it's your turn.
So I have an important question to ask.
Okay.
Did my clothes and like my bag and stuff shrink too, or did the spell only apply to me?
It only applied to you, so you're wearing a bit baggy clothing right
A
now.
lot bit
Yeah.
baggy.
Your snake bracelet is like...
Dangling.
I'm like, oh man.
Make it a choker.
Man, what am I supposed to do now? And then, I see the snail and I'm like, ugh.
All right, that's your turn in battle. The orc guard finally gets himself together and rushes up. Oh, what? Where's the beastie?
I turned it into a snail.
And he rushes over to look where it's at with the dog, and he lifts a foot as he's going to potentially stomp it. It's the snail's turn. The snail kind of looks up and eases forward and tries to get out of the path of the foot. Garth, it is your turn now, given you're the top of the turn order, and you are seeing this guy leveling in on smashing the snail.
I cast Mage Hand underneath his foot and push up.
As you cast Mage Hand and push up on his foot, as he's got all of the balance on his back leg, he does fall backwards and start scooting back a little bit as if he's incredibly disturbed by everything that is happening here. Being teleported to an unknown area, being attacked, and now just about to stomp something in it seemingly pushed back. Ari, you're standing there as Thadric is starting his cast, and the guy who you just is almost killed is laying there. You've got blood on your hand, and there's still this tenseness about a battle that this unknown foe exists. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I take my water skin out of my bag and I rinse my hands. And I shake them dry and I put it back and I take one big scoop backwards, close enough to get the healing, but not close enough to do any other damage.
Garth is just gonna say, "Can we all take a time out for 10 minutes?"
Wait, hold on. I don't want to be that guy, but I have a question, Nathan.
Yes.
Is Mage Hand a concentration spell?
No.
Okay. I like instantly
Mhm.
panicked. I was like, uh-oh.
Nope. I looked specifically because it's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Okay, I was like,
There are
Oh,
cantrips
man.
that are concentration. Huh. Phew.
Phew.
Yikes. That could have been bad.
internal panic because I can't take another fire blast.
It is Astro's turn, however.
Oh no.
And he lets out a bark and chomps down at the snail and ends up doing 5 points of damage, breaking the snail form, and he is now latched into the back of the chimera as it transforms up underneath him, and you hear the bark, and he's standing on top of the chimera and looking around.
I'm like, Astro, come here!
Thadric, it is your turn as you're casting this 10-minute ritual. Would you like to continue casting, or?
No, I'm gonna pull the plug on that bad boy.
I called the timeout.
I just gotta reset my numbers here back down to 7 hit points.
Darn NPCs. Wait, how are you only at 7?
He took a blast to the face. Also,
I
how are
will
you only at 35?
cast. Make sure this. I will cast Sanctuary over myself currently
Okay.
as a bonus action,
Sanctuary.
and then as an action, I'll cast Cure Wounds as a third level on myself,
Okay.
and that's it.
All right. So you've cast Cure Wounds. You're able to heal up. It is Valari's turn.
So it's daylight out. I'm small.
I'm small. It's daylight. This chimera does look in very rough shape, however.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna do my chromatic orb.
All right, chromatic orb again.
I'm gonna have to roll on it, casting it at level 3. Oh, thank goodness, because that's a 25.
25. It does hit.
And that is 5d8 of damage.
5d8 of damage, and a d100 roll after that.
Okay.
You're now 80.
Your frustration that Astro messed things up boils
Well,
up
no,
as you
it
fire a
wasn't
shot.
frustration. It was me being concerned about my
Oh,
pal
okay.
Astro.
All right, so your puppy pal.
5, 10, 14 points of lightning damage.
14 points of lightning damage. All right.
I'll resolve that in a second, but I quickened it again.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think this is... So I quickened it again, so I'm going to use 2 more points of sorcery points.
Penguin Witch Doctor, your roll, you get a bright glow, 30-foot radius around you. If anyone ends their turn in a 5-foot radius in your location, you blind them till their next turn. So, good roll.
Oh, I've done that
Get
before.
away.
So I'm rolling my firebolt again,
Yep.
and that hits, because that's a 26.
That hits, yes.
So that's gonna be 2d10s. Let me find some d10s here. And that is 8 points of damage.
All right.
And then we'll resolve the wild magic, which is a 92.
92. All right. Yeah. You
He's
feel
smiling. Beware.
you feel a immense amount of heat grow around you. And you end up casting on yourself
It's always on myself.
a reduced fireball. You need to roll 4d6.
Are any of us within a 20-foot radius of her?
I
I mean, it's a
believe
reduced fireball though, so. You said 4d6?
4d6, yes. I believe it appears that
If it's reduced, it shouldn't affect them. Right?
she is still near where the owlbear was. So the guardsman, Thadric, who is now in his cone of silence, and it looks
Ari.
like Ari.
Would it affect them though?
You'll take less damage, but you make
Wait, when you said reduce, I thought you were going to say reduce person. I was like, she's already 9.
Reduce. That's 14.
14 points of fire damage as little Valari explodes with a small fireball that she casts on herself. So anyone caught in the radius takes damage.
They take what, half?
Dex save or... I made my dex save.
Yeah.
You made the dex
So
saves?
they make. Yeah.
So you take half.
19.
21.
Yes.
Oh, that dude on the ground.
What is your
He's flat. The fire goes over him.
your spell DC save? If you look at your spell sheet.
Oh, it was 15 or 12 or something like that. 15.
15. All right. So anyone who is taken or who is at 15 or higher, or at 16 or higher, has saved, takes half the damage. So 7 points. Yeah, the guy on the ground, however, does not save. So he takes 14 points. And
What if I throw myself in front of him?
He did.
He's dead.
It'll be okay.
No, I tried.
You tried.
The Chimera,
I
however...
didn't succeed at all, but I tried.
The Chimera, however, takes an electric shock and then a firebolt to the lion's face, and it slumps to the ground. And Astro comes running in as the fireball dissipates and then skids to a stop in front of Valari and kind of looks at her and walks up cautiously, wagging his tail like, you smell like Valari, but you're definitely not Valari.
Singed?
And so he walks around her a little bit and sniffs her up. And all of the baddies are dead. The old couple who was gathering their groceries was behind the shield of the groceries that they had. All of their food is torched, and their shoes have caught fire. Yes?
Did I get the
Nathan?
Chimera kill?
Well,
You
I
did-
was just gonna say, like, technically, if like they had meat, it really would just be cooked. Like you got cooked bacon. You got
their meats
steak.
are cooked. Their corn has been popped. So they do have a meal that they weren't prepared to eat.
I'm gonna
And
cast Mage Hand and like kind of pat their feet to put out the fire.
the old man, you hear him just kind of mumbling some things. You hear, "I've never seen this in my life," and the old woman mumbling something about moving out of this town if they could. Valari does get the kill on the Chimera, and a few windows now have faces peering out of them. Some young, some old, watching what just happened in the street. There's a hole where the dirt has kind of dissipated from the hand that smashed the owlbear up. It is quite a wreck that you guys have put.
As the thing slumps down, I'm like, yeah, take that!
As you're...
Thadric runs over to the now deceased guard, and I cast Revify on him.
Ooh. Revivify.
Worry not, soldier dude.
All right.
We got ourselves a cleric.
But now I'm out of 3rd level spells.
He sits up and his eyebrows are singed and he blinks heavily and looks around. And at this point, as he raises a hand to ask a question, the same mist that let him appear in this world starts swirling around him, and the orc guard down the road, and lightning strikes their places and they disappear, and you are still left with the dead creatures in the street, but the two guards are now back to wherever they came from.
Well, at least it happened after breakfast.
I don't know the role for this, but I'd like to go over the Chimera Corpse for any like potential blacksmithing additives, like a dragon scales or something.
Yeah.
And then just
Dragon scale armor for years.
just get stuff.
So there's a few different things you could go for. I need dexterity or sleight of hand to ensure that you get these things off of the beast without destroying them. You see some dragon scales you may be able to salvage. You do see a bit of fur and leather that you could salvage as well.
I go over to the old people's cart and because the meat is cooked on it and stuff, I'm gonna try and take some. Just like I'm like.
The old man kind of looks at you funny. It's not what we wanted to use it for. Take what you need. And he lets you take some meat.
So I take some for me and for Astra. I give him like a big old piece.
I think I would be with Hoy at least investigating.
Yeah.
Since I have I'll be taking some notes about which spot each head is in and things like that.
Perfect. What were your sleight of hand rolls there?
17.
17. Do you want to go for leather or scales first?
Scales.
Scales. You're able to salvage 3 full scales, and that's a decent amount. You were able to salvage about 7 half scales as well, which in the back of your mind you think, oh, those could go well on different side pieces of armor plating. The scales are about 8 inches in diameter, so they're big pieces. They're not like little tiny things. If you'd like to salvage some leather, I'll let you do that as well. The dragon head is red.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well see if I can get some leather.
Yeah.
I know less about leather, but we'll see.
I mean, you gotta put a leather strap around a sword, things like that.
Or, conversely, I just completely shred it so that no one can even tell it's leather again.
There you go.
It's a 3.
It's a 3. You do shred it. You do hack at it, and you're like, I think I need some leather, and then you're just like cutting slices into the last patch of like uncharred flesh, and you come out with a mess.
I clawed over and I'm like, ew, what are you doing with that?
As you're gnawing on your meat, and
Yeah.
Astro's
It's like
standing there.
a turkey leg, Astra and I each have like a big old turkey leg.
I said, apparently nothing. And I throw it on the ground.
This is probably the first time that you all really realize that Valari is now a child.
Mentally as well as physically?
No, just physically.
Yeah.
I don't have another whistle.
Lara, are you feeling all right?
I don't want to talk about it.
I look to the halfling.
And I like
Is
pull
this
up my
that curse
pants.
too? This is
I
a
don't think
powerful
it-
witch.
No,
It's a weird day.
yes, that it could be her doing it to herself. Things happen around Valari. She has less control over the magic than I
And
do.
I'm like, what are you trying to say?
I've run 30 feet away.
I pick up my hammer.
All right, hammer is restored, scales intact. Garth, you do get a bunch of notes about chimeras. And we can go over those if you need them for future. So you can have notes on chimera.
Mr. Medicine Man, you want to take a couple minutes again? That thing you were doing that kind of got interrupted was kind of cool.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I can do that again.
I need to learn from you because I'm not so good at that medicine stuff.
Well, don't try to be me. You gotta look inside. You know who you are and what do you want. That's how you get your wisdom. And I'll start prayer of healing again.
All right.
So 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Not as strong this time.
In the 10 minutes that...
Only 14 hit points back.
There you go. 14 hit points back. In the 10 minutes that it takes to cast, some of the town comes out and you hear some mumbles about the street being totally torn up. The butcher comes rushing up and starts looking for any good meat on the chimera and looks at the owlbear, and then he starts flagging down a few others in town as they try to clean the mess up. And he's there hacking away at parts to make them carryable to get out of town. The children who had been in the area, the boys are jaw dropped as they walk past and they see all of the mess that had happened. And the little girl is just looking down at her feet, and you hear mumbles from the girl, "Oh, this is so gross, this is so gross." And the boys are just like, "Whoa, look at that. Oh, and that." And then one of them runs up to the owlbear head and kicks it a little bit and then continues off down the road. While this is all going on, the barkeep had been watching through the window. He quickly flips the sign to closed and kind of shutters up the bar a bit. And as much as the town has hustled around you, it's only been about 10 people. One man walks up to you and looks across the group. "So, who is intending to pay for reparations to our old town here?"
We'll take money for saving you from the owlbear and the chimera that went lost.
Also, the gargoyles. We helped with that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's like a ton of statues. Can't you just like break them down to pave the road over?
Dude, they're not.
They're people, remember?
No, we have to talk to you about that.
No, but you just crush the stone.
No.
They're people.
The guy...
Oh, right!
The guy looks disgusted
Right. That's
and
that kid's grandpa.
hustles off and kind of talks to a few others in town, and they're all pointing at you, and you get dirty looks from a handful of people in town.
I wave and say, "You're welcome."
Wait, should we just... What if we did this? What if we told them that we are former kings and queens of the other town, and that they can just send the bill there?
I mean,
Both towns owe us a lot when you think about it.
so true. No one appreciates us like they should.
Welcome to my life.
And then as we wait for
Hey.
the... Go
No,
for it,
that's
Nathan.
fine. I was just going to say, Valari, mold earth and fix the ground.
Mulder to fix the ground. As we wait these 10 minutes for the healing to take place, this is a perfect time for us to take 10 minutes for a break. So, while the healing is taking place, you all go grab dessert, snacks, whatever you need, breakfast,
Nice.
depending on where you're at in the world and watching our show. And we will see you in just a few minutes. Listen for our theme song. You'll have about a minute to come back. And yeah, enjoy. See you soon. We're back. Healing took place.
Yeah,
People are feeling 14 points better. But before we hop back into the story,
Wait, was that for everyone? I thought it was
anyone
just
who
for
is
one.
nearby.
Was I nearby?
Yeah.
Yeah, up to
Okay.
6 people.
Yeah, I think it's everyone in like a huge radius or something.
Yeah.
I'll take those 14 points back.
So, before we dig back into the episode, quickly going over some things, we do have podcasts, so take a look at your favorite podcast app. I'm sure we're there. We have a nice little tool that puts us on any and every podcast app, so catch up on seasons 1, 2, 3, and the last episode of 4 to lead up to today. Obviously, you can't do that now, so do subscribe because we upload these things as quickly as possible. If you do want to see any of our non-season stuff, it's only on Twitch and YouTube at the moment. So feel free to tune in there, catch up on our one-shots and our summer fun. There's some really good stuff. You get to see a big mustachioed Nathan for a character a few times, and it's a blast. Other than that, we do have our sponsors. Take a look above me. You can see the logos. In chat, you can type out, I believe, !sponsors, and then it gives you all the information about Blacksmith Craft Dice, Critical Treasures, and Caffeinated Kobold. They've been with us since about the start, and we're so happy to have them. And we will be giving away some of their stuff as we go along. So do follow us on all of our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to our Carrier Pigeon service, and you'll get all of the updates for everything we do and everything we give away, and as well as other things going on our show. That leaves me with another note. We're usually first and third Saturdays of the month, but this month there's a lot of life happening, so we're the first and last Saturdays of the month, and the last Saturday of the month is the 31st, meaning
Spooky.
we have a spooky episode. So join us on the 31st
Spooky.
for our spooky episode, and there'll be
I wasn't
some
there
fun.
for rehearsal.
No. Lauren and Nathan practiced that the entire 10 minutes of break. We heard them, their mics were on. It was a bit embarrassing because
from last year.
it was from last year. It's in our podcasts. Go listen. And with that, healing has taken place, and you hear ding, and health comes back.
Muffin?
If you'd rather muffins instead of health, you get 14 wonderfully delicious bran muffins that appear in your
Berry
hand.
muffins?
She said bran.
Bran.
Yeah, who says delicious bran muffin?
Yeah,
That's an
Jared does.
oxymoron.
Jared
Gross.
says delicious bread.
as a baker, I am offended. Good thing Shadow Rails isn't here.
Now, the town has been a bit suspicious of you lot, and has been mumbling about and kind of watching
The
you.
stone people are suspicious of us?
Welcome to the club.
Well, I mean, there was some lightning strikes and various creatures and beings now fighting you in town.
It was this book that book man gave me.
Nothing is said as the town kind of looks at you with a sneer.
So is there anybody nearby?
The closest person is an older man who is starting to toss the dirt back in the hole and placing bricks carefully to repair the street.
Okay, I'll leave him alone.
You leave him alone. Okay.
Excuse me, friends, companions. I look, we are clearly in the right. However, they may see it differently as we are newcomers, and look, we have a possible engagement outside of town, so mayhaps we head that way and avoid any unnecessary confrontations from the immediate personas.
Fine by me.
I'm not scared. It's not a new situation for me.
I'm not scared either. However, I do not think we need to fight everybody.
Aren't we
I
supposed to
wasn't
go
saying
figure out this
fight
like
them.
curse thing?
Yes,
No.
yes. Perhaps if they
Somebody who wants adventurers is calling, so
Yes.
you know.
Thadric?
Thadric. Thadric Demus Thaddeus.
Mr. T?
Thadric. Yes. What do you think?
Oh, I think about a lot of stuff. Mostly like my place in the world, what I'm doing, what that cat's doing over there. You know, all the things.
There is a cat playing with a dead mouse that it must have just recently killed. It picks it up and saunters away as if it's going to deliver this to its owner.
Interesting.
Oh, Obvi. I get really sad thinking about Obvi.
Obvi, if you don't remember, was the mouse that accompanied Valari early on.
I'm sure she's safe.
So, following the note.
Yes.
Following the note,
To the witch, right? You're going to take care of this witch?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
the note says to meet on the north side of town, which is up the hill and a bit around a bend.
Just around the river bend?
Just around the river bend. And as you make it up the pathway to the higher part of town, you do notice that there's a few nicer homes up here, as this is prime real estate. But as you go a bit further,
That's flooding.
where the note is leading you to, it seems to be a cliff that drops off. It's only about 30 or 40 feet, but still, it's a drop nonetheless.
This would have been good to know about when we had that chimera,
Yeah.
and I turned it into a snail. Could have just run it up here, chucked it off the cliff.
Now, the note does say to wait in the alley, which there doesn't seem to be an alley behind or around any of these homes. It is a bit nicer. Some walled gardens up at the front of the street face, and between the homes, there's either a fencing or even just an open grassy patch, but it doesn't seem to match up with what the note was telling you. And as you're looking around, out of one of the windows on the second story of a home just ahead, a young woman comes crashing out and lands on her back and skids across the road a bit. She's covered out of a window. She's covered in leather. Her cloak is torn up a bit, and she's got a sword and a small hammer in hand. And she stands up and she goes barreling towards the home. And as she goes barreling towards the home with the front door slightly ajar, you see that it's dark in all of the windows. And she gets halfway up to the home, and in broad daylight, a gargoyle comes leaping out at her. As she does this, she drops her sword and clasps a pendant on her chest and throws her shoulder into the gargoyle, and for a brief moment, you believe she turns to stone, and this gargoyle hits her and obliterates into a bunch of shards. And she stands up and cracks her neck and brushes off a little bit and looks at the group here. I see that you've caught me doing my daily pest removal, I should say. And she puts the blade and hammer on her belt and pulls out a small notebook and crosses off what seems to be the last on the list of her duties for the day. What is it I can help you with up here?
We're an alley. Is there an alley?
An alleyway is commonly referred to as the cliff over there. What you need to do is sprinkle a little dust, and a few stairs will appear to go down. There is an alleyway there, but that's usually where the hunters of the sort do gather. And I'm one of the 4 hunters. Are you?
Do you know Vil?
Venel?
Bueno,
I do
yes.
not.
Bueno is, have you met him?
He wrote us a letter, so obviously we're close.
Well, if you've gotten a letter from Bueno, you've probably met him, and, he's the one guard that, moves people in the evening.
Oh, the wing guy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, totally. We have met
Yes,
him.
we
Yep.
met him last night when we two were fighting gargoyles.
Our buddy here, Thadric, has not met him, but we did meet him.
Right, Thad's new, but he's
Yeah.
cool. He's cool.
I've never fought a gargoyle.
And
Really?
I have.
Well,
But you're just a little girl.
You want to steal the gun?
You're just a little girl.
No,
get
I
really-
moved 30 feet away.
I get really mad.
roll.
I also am moving. I run.
As you're backing up and Thad's engaging,
It's a
the young
23.
woman who was watching this all happen watches you two back up, and she kind of takes a couple steps back too. 23, you said?
Yeah, what do I see on my watch?
Your pocket watch does buzz, and because you're not in combat, you look at it, and it's just got an eyeball floating in the center.
Doesn't look dangerous, so I just let it go.
As you close the pocket watch and put it back in your pocket, you feel a small popping sensation on your forehead, and
Damn it, that's what I thought it was gonna be.
you have an eye that appears on your forehead, but
But it does something for me.
you do perceive a bit better, meaning you'll have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight for the next 10 hours.
So we have a three-eyed, shrunken, tiefling,
Not sh-
wild
Isn't
mage.
that
Not
Shrunken.
shrunken.
Not shrunken.
You
It's
have
nine.
a
Nine.
Now,
three-eyed
now
9-year-old
you're a
tiefling.
triclops.
Now you're a triclops. The woman who is engaging with all of you, her jaw drops as she watches the eye appear on Valari's forehead. I do believe that's when I was waiting for you, just follow the stairs, and she backs away watching you all and just ends up turning and running back towards like the center of town.
She's not scared of gargoyles, but she's scared of us. This town is not somewhere we should stay for long.
I go to the edge of the cliff and I take some of the dirt, like she said, and I just start sprinkling it. Because wasn't there a staircase like this
Last time we
in our
dealt
last?
with invisible stairs at a cliff. A kid died. I'm not about that. Can I see?
It was by the sea, and there was a breeze. I lick my finger and hold it up. Is there a breeze? And which direction is it coming from?
There's
Garth
a
breaks
slight
down a little bit
breeze.
because he wanted to help the kid, but he wasn't really around.
There is a slight breeze. It is blowing towards the cliff face, but it's only so slight. It's like a nice
Can
summer
I
breeze.
see? How about?
Yeah, you see the little bit of dirt, and because you have that third eye, you do actually see a glint and glimmer of all of the stairs that go down.
Yeah, but where's the bottom too?
It seems to go down and then turn into something in the cliff face. So there's a nice landing about 15 steps down.
I can see the landing.
You can see the landing just a little bit. It's got a sparkle to you because you see some of the dirt on it, and with your three eyes, you're able to perceive a bit more of the shape of this.
So I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I pull out my gourd, and I go, and I shake it, and then when I hit, I'm gonna like dive in the door.
All right, you land on this invisible landing, and in front of you there's a deep hallway, and you dive right into this hallway. The hallway's lit by a couple torches as it gets a little deeper. The rest of you see her shake the gourd and just disappear as she was looking off the edge of the cliff face, and you know that her gourd helps her teleport somewhere once a day.
I just look at the halfling. What'd you do?
Did Astro follow me, by the way?
See, that one wasn't me. See, she has. I mean, that was. I think she has a gourd that teleports her. I can do something similar. However, I think I'm gonna save it and just walk. And I start walking down the stairs that I have now revealed with the dust.
Yeah, you start walking down the stairs. A few of them are a little bit harder to see, but in a stairway fashion, you know, one step comes after the other. Astro had pushed past and jumps down the stairs and skids down at the last step and dives down the hallway quickly. You all end up making your way to this hallway, which, as you enter a little bit of the Undercity here, you do see a couple small, older storefronts about 30 or 40 feet in, and it seems like this was a bit of a speakeasy-esque part of town. It was a little underground nature. It's a bit worn, but it's about the same age as the rest of the town itself. Most of the storefronts are closed up, however. A few of them boarded up, and then there's a couple at the end that do have lanterns up in front of them.
Wait, what are we
Bueno.
looking for?
We're looking for a Bueno. It's a winged persona who just so happens to to be the person that helped us last night in battling the gargoyles.
Like, when you say winged, do you mean like a big mosquito or a big bird?
He's a person with
humanoid.
wings.
Humanoid, but with wings. Oddly enough, kind of like a gargoyle, but not made of stone, like gargoyles.
You'll see.
Hello.
Your voice echoes, and
Wait a sec.
wait a sec, what?
The note was signed from Bueno, right? I don't think that was the name of the creature we met last night, was it?
I don't think we got his name.
Interesting. I'm gonna try and keep. Garth's gonna try and keep remembering that as we just keep looking for Bueno.
I would like to use thaumaturgy to triple my voice volume,
All right.
and I just want to shout out, "Hello, Thadric is here."
It echoes and booms through the small alleyway that you're in. One of the glass panes next to you shatters and falls into the empty storefront. Fortunately, is a boarded up storefront. And as you do that, a figure steps out about 40 feet ahead from one of the storefronts and looks down, and you hear, "Yes, I've been waiting for you. But I don't recall
found
a
him.
Thadric."
Yeah, Thadric Thaddeus.
All right.
Thadric
Well,
Demas Thaddeus.
well, welcome, Thadric Demas Thaddeus, and the rest of you. And as the figure makes its way closer to you, you do see a glint of wings behind, and the face that's formed slightly different than most human or elf, with the deep black eyes. The humanoid still walks up. "I see that you've gotten my letter. It is
Yes.
It is of utmost importance that you help me with this task, as I am here trying to protect the town, and I am fading. I don't know how many more years I will be able to keep up this protection, and this town will go to ruin, and the area may go to ruin as well. So, given your valiant efforts in fighting gargoyles, I think
Somebody appreciates us.
It's
You
really
may-
nice. It's really nice to be appreciated.
you may be suited for this next task. See, I figured out how to at least stifle the curse. And if I can stifle the curse, I can maybe save the town. That would mean more to fight the gargoyles and more to remove all of the pain and trouble that we've had.
We've got a raid!
Thank you for the raid. We are a Dungeons & Dragons 5e group playing through our 4th season. We're in episode 2 and we are underground.
Welcome, Willow.
And all her friends. Yep.
Willow brought her army.
Thank you, Willow, for the birthday wishes, and Sith Lord Emmy as well. 'Tis my birthday, so.
And the birthday boy has been destroying creatures, as one
Look.
should.
The creature started it.
Alrighty.
sure.
Thank you, Rach Powell 16 as well. And Wow Galgwin and Prig101. I think I'm doing it. I think I'm
you're
doing
doing
it.
it.
You are not.
As this halfling wizard is now spouting something out to the voices he continues to hear in his head, you have been chosen by this Glora for a quest.
Oh,
The Glora.
Glora is a race. Venel is a name. Definitely thought the name was Glora. Now I put it together.
Gwenna
We
looks
go-
you over and says, I'm not able to remove myself from my duty here, but if you may find the one stone of amplification, I have the spells to prevent the change. But I need this stone. And whatever has happened to the north is tingling my senses. And given that I'm from a different plane, I believe that plane has collided with this one. I feel that there is power to the north that we should be able to harness for this.
So you think the stone that we need is to the north of us? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, a few days back there was a calamity to the north. and-
Yes. That's what that is what has brought us here in the first place.
That is true.
Well,
I just went downhill.
Go north, find a rock, come back, save the town.
yes, more or less. But, it won't be as easy as, go north, find a rock, come back, save the town sounds. There are guardians on their flaming mares, and they will...
We saw them. They killed Carl.
Yes, one of our favorite guards named Carl was slain.
Well,
We will take vengeance on these flaming heads. Go north, fight the flaming ghost horse people. Find
Nightmares.
the stone, save the town.
They're called nightmares.
Yeah.
So find the stone, save the town.
But like a
Yes.
specific stone, not just like that stone that's north.
Well, I
Yes,
said
do you have
duh.
like a rendering of said stone? Something that we could use as a
Could you like etch out a sketch?
What is
Well-
it on the Mohs hardness scale?
Color?
I can do
Is it a
you-
crystal?
I can do you one better. And he steps back and waves his hands briefly for a moment.
I wave back.
And as he's waving his hands, there is a rock that somewhat forms in front of you. And it's to players, it seems like a hologram. But to you, it seems like a wavering, flickering version of this rock. The rock is very cone in shape, not tattooed, does not sell tequila, but it is very cone-esque in shape, and around it, it's got spirals of like a carved piece. And as you look into those carvings of the spirals, you see that there is gemstones sunken within, almost as if this carving is revealing the gemstones within the rock. And at the very top, the tip of this cone is diamond-esque. And as he's got the cone etched rock in front of you, he looks across the group. This stone specifically is one that is found in some of the fortresses that travel between the planes. They use it for harnessing the portal power and growing it large enough to get through. And I believe this stone can be harnessed for such a thing here, growing my powers stronger to remove the stone curse. But in doing so, I do have a small token. My hunters of sorts, they do have these. And he has 2 necklaces with a small chunk of stone at the bottom, very unshapen in any way, shape, or form. Looks like it was broken off of something. And he holds it out, and he looks across the group and says, I only have 2 left. These will protect you, provided you can overcome the curse within.
These are sort of thing where you grab it and it turns you into stone for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you can destroy a gargoyle, maybe?
Well, you must have met our newest, most eager member. She goes head first into battle. And yes, I've seen her with my own eyes slam a gargoyle square in the face.
It was so cool!
I would be very careful, as you aren't always guaranteed its effect.
I'm used to that. I reach up and like try to take one.
He lets go of it and looks at you. You're younger than I recall, and
Yeah, don't ask.
Ari, I think either you or Thandrick should have the other. I usually stay further out of battle, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to play rock, paper, scissors for it?
I mean, I'm just here for the ride.
Okay, I'm pretty hard-headed anyways. I'd take it and put it on.
all right.
If you let go of your worldly possessions, you'd have a much better go of things.
Except I would be cold and hungry and... Never mind.
Nature can provide.
I like his.
You have a level in druid too?
No,
No?
not yet.
The newest member of your party. He has great thoughts. Nature does provide. These are stones found from the incident, and these are the remaining pieces. The remaining pieces of the one gargoyle that placed the curse on the town. I warn you, as you grab the pendant, you must think about being stone, and if you can't overcome your thoughts, you may not turn to stone. And it's only briefly that this will occur. So don't be like my newest recruit and believe you can do it every time.
I grab the stone.
I need you to roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the one for that stone.
We might.
I might be the only one for that stone.
It's a nat 20
A nat 20.
plus
Uh,
1.
So, Valari,
Plus-
as you grab the stone and think about being a stone, you turn completely to stone, but you're able to move a little bit and look around while you're stone. To you, it feels like seconds, but the world has slowed way down to the point where you see a hair falling off of Garth's head, and instead of just dropping it, it flutters slowly. And the wag of the tail of Astro almost seems to stop. So you get a few moments of like clarity there.
Mhm.
Your motion isn't much, and then everything snaps back to normal. The Galora looks at you. Well, little one, you've perfected it.
And I go, haha, Garth, you're balding.
What do you mean?
She
Most
saw-
creatures shed
Balding
100 a day.
means your hair is falling out, dude.
No, I mean
What
that's
if
natural.
I can think of songs with rocks in them
Also-
while I roll? Can I?
Haven't you literally lost all your hair in a single moment of time
That
due to wild magic?
multiple times.
And it like instantly comes back. That's different. That's magical. Yours is permanent.
I cast prestidigitation and my hair looks thicker.
You have a nice big floof of hair, and it's everywhere, and it's getting in everyone's faces who stands around you.
Cast prestidigitation, and it goes even thinner than it was originally with like a receding line.
I cast counterspell on her prestidigitation.
And make her hair fall out. 2 hours later.
I find a map to the north.
As
This guy.
as Thadric turns away and there's spell casting back and forth, the Glora shakes his head. In all of my days, I've never seen such childlike behavior from, well, I guess one's a child.
Not her mind, just her body. She doesn't have an excuse.
So what's yours?
You want to touch the stone? You did that, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I touched the stone, I got a 15.
15. You get a moment of clarity, and everything slows down. You cannot move at this point, but you feel like you've gained control of whatever happens, and you come back. At this point, you don't have many eyes on you, so it might have been seen briefly, a flash of you turning to stone by the two casting spells and counter spells at one another.
Great.
Thadric and Gwenil have turned to discuss direction of where they need to go. As there's some discussion going on, Gwenil looks over the group. I believe that things have been rough for you this morning, it looks like. Have you seen Badgel already?
Oh yes, an owl bear appeared in town randomly with some sort of weird goat thing,
And I
then
killed a
Chimera
chimera.
attacked.
Well, I urge you to take a bit of rest. I do have snacks and lunch that I serve for my hunters, as this is close to the end of their shift. Please enjoy. I do have extra. Feel free to rest up, and you've kind of been walked into what seems to be a quote-unquote town center. It's only about 30 or 40 feet wide in any direction. There's a few little picnic tables. There's lots of lanterns hanging from the ceiling about 25 feet up. And this is a spot where he's giving you rest, encouraging you to eat. And as you do see what he's set up, from a back tunnel, an older man comes hobbling in. When I say older, he's about in his late 50s. His armor is all beat up, and you can see he's hobbling on a leg that's got a nice cut and is bleeding. And he hops down at a table, and Gwenil rushes over to him, and you hear them speaking about a four-armed creature, a gargoyle that they had fought, much like the other night, and that you hear that the forces are getting stronger and larger in some of their conversation. And a look of fear goes across this man's face as he's describing the situation.
Things are bad. We should rest and then go.
Yes. I am all for it. Penguin Witch Doctor says, Ari, stick your finger in his wound and heal it.
It's a callback.
No. Don't. Why should you lick it first?
No, that's some bacteria, some infection.
I
That's
mean,
how medicine works, right?
Yeah, we watched how medicine worked for you, and that wasn't pretty.
Dr. Ari, medicine woman.
But as food gets set out, there's also a small map that is set out. It's very much hand drawn, and it points to roughly where this calamity had happened, according to the Glora, or where he believes it had happened. And he walks past as you're finishing your snacks, and says, "Do take your time, but know that those stones only contain their essence for a mere week or so. So don't dawdle and spend all of your time in the shops, but do seek me if you need anything before you leave."
Penguin Witch Doctor, I had 2 crit fails, just to keep the record straight.
Yeah.
All right.
How far do we have to go on this map?
On
On the map, like centimeters?
On the map, it does have a couple town names. It does look like it might be a day or 2 of travel. And one of the hunters that was in the room kind of walks past and does confirm that with you. And he's like, yeah, that's a town a couple days north of here. If you're able to find any hooved or cart or any non-walking form of travel, it might shorten it by a day.
Well, those 2 can teleport.
What? Not
Yes, but
really.
only so far.
It's further than I could teleport.
I will say I'm a little disappointed because tomorrow's the grand opening of the bookshop, but we should really get going to help the people, shouldn't we?
Yeah. I'll buy you a book when we get back.
Or, hunters, if there's any just great sales, never mind, you're dealing with a lot.
Now, it gets quiet. The hunters do retire into a couple of the shops that seem to be converted into homes here. And as you have finished up, Vuenil does give you a polite wave and retires into the largest of the buildings, which does seem to be almost like it was a bank of sorts, very heavily guarded, but there are some paintings on the front of it that do seem to make it look a bit more homey feel. There's some flowers across the bottom painted, and a couple of the windows do have some shutters and blinds painted on them.
I mean,
Wait.
I will say, if there is an open shop, might not be a bad idea to poke around, see if we can get anything else that'll help us on our journey.
Down here, it looks like there may be a shop that has one light on, but there may be shops in town if you wish to try your hand.
Oh, yes, I understand now.
I'm ready to go to bed so we can go in the morning and get that stone.
To clarify, what time is it? Because our day started with breakfast and an immediate encounter.
Yeah.
By the time you've gotten through the encounter, the cleanup, the healing, and here, it's about lunchtime. You
Yeah.
guys were just able to have a light snack around lunch.
Got it. So we still have a good half day ahead of us. We could get on the road, or we could go back to town and find a bit of transportation.
Well,
Ugh.
hold on. About the transportation thing. If those statues aren't real statues, then are the, horses real horses? Or do we, will they turn to stone?
Well,
Or will I turn to stone because I'm riding a horse? Or will we both turn to stone? Maybe we go to the next town
They said
and
visitors.
get not stone horses.
They said.
I like that plan.
Well, isn't it only in the town though?
Well, no. Anyone who was in the town or part of the town is affected by it no matter where they are. That's why they all stay together.
Curse moves with him.
Unfortunately, our horses and my wonderful pony Gerald have run off. So we cannot look to them for aid. Perhaps, yes. Perhaps what if we started now? Started on our journey, tried to make it to the next town as best as we can, and see if we can acquire some sort of livery there.
How far is it to the next town?
The next town that you saw on the map seems to be about a quarter of the journey, so it might take you a handful of hours to get there.
Well,
Let's head there.
if we can get some horses or some oxen or something to pull it, I can make us a wagon.
Interesting. I like the sound of that. But yes, I don't know if we should trust any livestock from this town. Not that they're not good livestock. They're just livestock that randomly might turn
They're
to stone
stone
on us.
stock.
Yes, they're stone stock. Well, yes. So, next town then? We head on our way?
Good for me.
Wonderful.
All right. As you begin packing up and leaving from here, you do see that the afternoon sun is shining in a bit to the hallway out. The stairs you see kind of glisten in this light, as the enchantment on them doesn't make them completely invisible. You're able to make your way up into the main area of the nicer homes, and there's a couple people already beginning work on the broken window and the front door from the encounter you just saw before. One of the people working on the window does appear to be someone who had seen you in town and gives you a little bit of a glare as you pass through.
Don't-
I stick my tongue out at him.
All right.
Don't worry.
Thadric just waves as he passes through. Now, you finally get through town with glares and a few sneers. You do see the bookshop putting up a banner of grand opening, and you see inside that there's another person putting books on the shelves. The bar is all closed up still and hiding away. And you're able to get on the road, and the road is quite quiet here until you make it back to the main stretch. There's a few carts that roll past, and people are moving about. You see 1 to 2 people every 20 minutes or so on horseback or on cart riding past, and a few of them even call out, "Coming through!" And no one seems to offer a lift, even though you flag them down and wave at them. It seems that there's a bit of a hurry in this area. The one person that slows down ever so slightly as you are flagging them down yells out, "Did you hear? The road's not safe! You should get home!" And he
Why?
continues
What?
off.
Why? Why is the road not safe?
As you get up and over the first little hill, about an hour or so into your journey, you do notice that there is a scorched circle across the road, almost perfect circle, scorched, and it's about 50 feet in diameter. It's a large piece that had just been burned, and in the center it seems like it emanated out. There's another one just a little bit further down, and in that scorch it seems that there is remains of a humanoid that was riding a horse or a cow or some other bovine, but it's burned to a crisp.
Does any of it look fresh? Like, are there still flames, or are there markings on any of the horse or humanoid that would show that they had just passed us?
No, it doesn't look incredibly fresh, but it does look like it could have happened overnight or the evening before.
I get my shield out and I draw my sword just to be safe.
Cautiously,
Yes,
you make your way forward, another cart comes through, and you hear mumblings of fear and disgust from the two riders on the cart, and they carry on as fast as they can through the area. And as you continue your way forward, a scorch appears, a flame about 5 or 6 feet tall, swirls up about 50, 60 feet out from you in the grass, and it burns slowly around until it reaches about 8 feet from the center point of emanation. And in the middle, you see a very barbed, horned creature with a long, spiny tail, and it hisses and growls and speaks something in a language you don't understand.
Is it a Balrog?
What language
Is it-
does it speak?
Well, this character doesn't speak that.
Dwarvish? I know Dwarvish.
Let me look at the languages here. It is speaking in what, at least I believe Garth would understand it to be, as Infernal.
I speak Infernal. I
You
think.
speak Infernal, okay. Yes, you do. So Valari hears it hissing and cursing out, and it says something along the lines of, "The tower's ours! Back away! Back away! Death will come." And as it hissed and growled these things out in Infernal, Valari hears that. I wanted to say, Garth, you had that as something you can understand, or was it Celestial you understood?
No, I don't have either of those,
Okay.
actually. I think I was looking for Abyssal, but I might be thinking about a different system.
So I just continued to walk forward. I was like, we're not trying to take the town. I'm just really tired. My stuff is really heavy.
You say that to the creature?
To the thing, yeah.
Are you speaking in Common or Infernal?
I imagine probably Infernal because that's what it spoke. So
It stands tall, and you hear, "But you're just a child. Why are you headed to the tower?"
well, I'm actually not a child. I'm actually much older. There was just a spell gone awry, so now I look like a child for a while. It's a whole thing. But we're just passing through. We're just travelers.
Well, you've been warned. Any further that you go north, and death may meet you.
I
This is the
appreciate-
first time we've heard Valari speak Infernal,
It's true.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
I'm
think
like,
I'd be
well,
like-
I appreciate the warning. And I was like, we're good, guys. Let's go.
It's a deep
just
and troubling language as you hear it being spoken, but you hear very Doom-esque deep and troubling language from this beast, and then a very childlike, almost innocent nature from Valari speaking the same tongue back.
And I'm gonna message Ari. Use message. So I'm gonna point at her because I had just pointed at her.
Mhm.
So when I said it's fine, like she hears that too. She goes, "It's totally fine. Like I talked to him. Like he's letting us through. He just warned us that he owns the town and there could be death ahead. But just be cool." I told him we're travelers.
I smile and nod, but I still have my sword and my shield.
Up ahead, there's a small patch of forest, only about a few hundred feet in any direction, but on one side there's a bunch of rocks, and on the other there's a bit of a creek path. The road does go cleanly through the forest, and it's only 70, 80 feet through this little patch. But you do see that there are scorch marks throughout the grass leading up to the forest, about the same size as the scorch mark left after this creature disappears back into the flame from where Valari had spoken with it.
Val, you wanna lead?
Yeah, I know. I'm walking.
So
Up the
now
road.
I will say Garth has had encounters with demons. Would he recognize this as a demon?
I believe you would.
Probably.
Yes, you would. You would recognize it as a devil. So yeah, it's a demon.
Interesting. Why are the devils? And I would know that they are from another plane.
Yep.
Why are they must have something to do with the calamity that happened up north of us, and hence our.
Are you thinking out loud?
Yes.
I go, it's fine. We just have to go get to the end so we can rest because I'm tired. And I was like, keep going.
Oh yes, I mean I will keep walking, but I just think we do need to keep a weather eye out for if some other plane has joined with our own and is now.
I turn
releasing
around
these
and through my
devils.
teeth I go, it's fine. Keep walking.
Yes, I understand. I'm just
But did you say he said they own the town?
tower.
Tower.
I heard her say town.
The tower?
Yes,
I
he
heard
said
town.
Tower is what.
Oh,
He
well,
said-
then I said tower.
Okay. What tower was he talking about?
Probably in the
Hey,
north.
Because if there's a tower the devils are taking over, that might be where the stone is.
Bueno mentioned the tower and how this stone that we are looking for happens to actually power the ability to transport in between.
So we
planes.
kind of need
So,
to get to that tower.
I messaged Garth and I'm like, we really should wait to talk about this until we're somewhere not around them.
Oh. Yes. Thadric, what are your thoughts on the recent geopolitical situation of the land?
Well, the best way to solve your problems is to help someone with theirs.
Astute.
And as you continue walking and making small talk, you walk through the forest path that's a good couple carts wide. You've seen a lot of traffic and travel through here, and about 30 feet into this 60-foot stretch that is the forest, you hear a rumbling of earth up ahead, and as the rumbling occurs, up through the ground, a bunch of bones just kind of form a large creature in front of you, and it has a long barbed bone tail, and it's a completely bone creature, and it speaks as well in Infernal. Who decides to come through here?
And I'm like, we're just traveling to the next town.
Well, your journey stops here.
But my family's in the town. We gotta go back and get to them.
Young one, it does not matter. You will join us today. And he pulls out a bone club and he pulls it up over his head and starts rushing forward.
And I'm like,
Is he a welcoming committee, Valari?
I'm like, no!
Roll for initiative, please.
Here we go, everybody.
That's not right.
That's not as good as my last one.
I'll take it. I don't like it, but I'll take it.
All right, from the top of the turn order, we have Astro.
He got a solid 1.
A solid one, nothing else. Wow.
Well, I don't.
Oh, he's got a +3, so he's got a 4. Ari,
23.
23. Garth,
10.
10. Thadric,
12.
12. And
Come on, you scaredy
Valari.
cat.
12!
All right.
That's pretty standard for me.
Yeah. As this creature rushes forward, it is Ari's turn to start.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush right at it. I am
Okay.
going to take my dash action with my charge feat, and I will be going for extra damage.
All right. You're able to meet it.
That's a soft 20.
Soft 20. That hits.
Alright. Alright, that will be, let me do my counting.
What is the lighting in the forest?
It's,
That'll be 18 points
Oh, right.
of slashing damage.
18 points of slashing damage. All right. As you get up to this large creature, it is made completely of bone, and you're able to crack a couple of them as you slash through. It is I'd say not dim per se, but it is like a mildly dim lighting. If you
So
need.
is it dim?
It is dim lighting. For you.
Okay.
Like,
it doesn't say anything about mildly or extremely
It's broad
dim. It just says-
daylight, but you're in a forest covering, so it is kind of dim.
Thank you.
Just like the DM. The DM's kind of dim.
Yeah, well. That's a big issue.
Extremely.
This bone devil does claw out with one claw at you.
Who you?
Ari, who is right up at front. Sorry. So he does claw and swing for a 13, so I believe that doesn't hit.
Does not.
And then his tail comes out and tries to hit you as well. And that is a 17 to hit.
Does not.
And finally, he swings down with his large hammer that he's got. Man, terrible rolls. A 16 to hit.
Does not.
So you've staggered him a bit as he's flailing at you. Child Volari, it is your turn.
And he
Okay.
disappears.
I have one shot.
What if
at
that was
this,
a rule?
so I
You
hope it
miss
goes
3
well.
times in a row in D&D, you're just out.
You're just done.
Oh, I'd hate for a player to have a bad day and then suddenly they just go poof out of existence.
Right.
Okay, I've got one shot at this one, so I hope it works.
Okay.
I probably don't cast lightning bolt on this thing. That's a 15.
15 does not hit.
Lightning bolt? Lightning bolt is a dexterity save.
Was it lightning bolt you were casting?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's not apparent on the way the sheet is.
Oh, you've got a very, very thinned out sheet here. It is an instantaneous.
Oh.
They get a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Boom, baby.
Good remember.
Yeah, that's a 12 on dexterity.
So that did not save. So now
Okay.
I'm gonna roll. Guess how many d6s?
I saw it. You can tell everyone else how many that is.
8.
Oh, that's right. It's the lightning version of Fireball.
6.
Yeah.
8 d6s.
Which may I just throw a quick advertisement out there for Shield Master as a feat, because I have taken 0 damage from this spell once, thanks to that.
Nice.
What? There's a lot of 6s and 5s here, yo.
No.
Okay.
Demon.
10.
Let's see if you can beat Penguin Witch Doctor, who got 34.
You
20,
shall not pass.
25, 28, 34!
Tie.
Whoa!
You guys.
34.
It was meant to be.
34 points of damage.
Yeah, boy.
Mathematical odds of that. Post it in Discord.
Post the mathematical odds in Discord.
Oh, no, I'm not a stats person, sorry.
All right. So you see this lightning bolt hit and shock across the bones, and a couple bones, smaller ones, go rocketing off from the electricity.
Can I quicken it? Well, wait, can I quicken it?
Did you quicken it?
I said I wanted to.
You've quickened twice already.
Yeah, so that's 4 points.
Yeah, I don't recall what your pool of points is
I
for
have
this level.
7, so I
So
can...
you could quicken it, yep.
Why not?
All right, quickened. So you have 1 point left for the day.
Tink is sad about that. So we'll attempt to cast Firebolt.
And then it's Thadric's turn next.
And that's gonna hit, because that's a 24.
That does hit.
So that's gonna be a D10. No, 2 D10s.
Man,
2.
why do I let Volari have dice? 3.2% chance. Nice.
I don't know what it is with once you add the factor in.
And that's gonna be an additional 9 points.
9 more points.
Hoy is using his off-character time well.
I mean, we all do, right? And I recall plenty of other things at other tables that have occurred. So you scorch a few of the bones as you launch Firebolt at this thing. Cedric, it is your turn.
See, well, that was why I was using my off time, because I don't know that I have anything for this.
Not even a hammer?
Is it metal? Is he
No.
wearing metal?
He's
No,
not.
he's just bowed, right?
He's
No
bone.
cooking book.
You can
See,
throw a hammer
so a
about.
forge cleric. So a lot of my stuff is built around fire and metal. Devils generally are like meh to fire. Just throwing it out there.
Generally.
I
If they
got a
spring up in fire.
cantrip I can drop on him.
Do it.
Drop that can.
I'm gonna raise a finger. I'm gonna raise a finger and go, word of radiance.
He raises his fingy.
He gets a con save 15.
Okay, con save 15. That is a 14.
He takes a total of 10 damage.
10 damage.
Radiant, if that matters.
It probably
In this
does.
case, it does not.
Oh, that's surprising.
And then
Ah.
for my next, or for my my move,
Yep.
I'm just gonna reach into a bag I have, a tan bag hanging at my waist, and I pull up a little fuzzy thing, and I'm ready
Yeah.
for it for the next round.
All right.
Oh, that is one of my favorite magic items ever.
Garth, your turn, sir.
Garth is just gonna kind of be surprised. Also doing the same things. Fire ain't gonna help me. A lot of my things have to do with fire damage. So instead, I'm just gonna go with a auto hit with magic missile at 2nd level
There you go.
and roll my 44. Not too shabby here. 11 damage.
11 damage. The magic missiles do launch in, and as they hit this bone devil, they break off a few bones around the chest cavity. It is starting to lose a little bit of its mass. You see that it's essentially bloodied, if a bone devil could be bloodied. Astro sees all of these bones and licks his lips and charges in and lands on the foot of this bone devil and tears and rips and pulls out a bone from the foot and gets 6 points of damage.
And everybody knows that the foot bone's connected to the
Ankle
Ankle
bone.
bone?
The ankle bone's connected to the.
shin bone.
I
It
never
needs more of a
learned that
joint, but it's also a bone.
Well,
Anyways.
same with the ankle.
Alright.
I
Alright,
was
it
able
is,
to break it.
it is your turn. By the time you've figured out what's connected to what and you're up to the hip bone, it is now your turn.
Awesome. Is there like a? It's just bone. There's no like heart center.
Not really. You do see kind of a core of flame underneath.
Okay.
But that's really about it. There's no like
I'll just-
beating heart
I'll just hack at it with
Alright.
my sword.
with your sword.
So the first one is gonna be a 12 to hit.
12 to hit does not hit.
I'm gonna use my inspiration and just re-roll that.
All right,
Okay, there we go. That's a 23.
hits.
21.
21 hits.
21.
Okay. 13.
13 points of damage as you slice
Yes,
with your
please.
first one.
And then for my second hit, that's gonna be a 17.
17 does not hit.
Oh, okay.
Action surge?
I do have my action surge. Why not?
There you
Action
go.
surge, baby. Oh, that's critical. It's a 19, but at this level. So that will be 8, 9, 14 plus 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. You slash at this thing multiple times, and bones do fly in all directions. And you do see that you have done quite a bit of damage, and it knows that you've done quite a bit of damage, so it does slash out at you with its tail again to see if it will do anything. A 3 on the die won't. It claws with a crit fail, so it claws out and catches its claw into the ground next to you and gets stuck. So now all attacks against it are at advantage, and it tries to lash out at you and bite you, and it still doesn't do anything. Why do I roll these dice? Hey, players, if you want to send your dice along, the ones that are doing good, I'll gladly roll them.
Oh, you mean the one that's a 20 on every side?
Yes, that one.
I wasn't supposed to.
It was a secret deal with Blacksmith Craft Dice. He sent the players all a gift, I guess.
I didn't get that one.
Yet. It's in the mail. Valari, it is your turn.
Cool. So
And after your actions from the last round, you feel an energy surge blasting into you. So we're going to start your turn with a roll of your D100.
Okay. These two.
How have we never had the unicorn again?
There's 50
She's
different
got
outcomes.
a feather beard twice.
I say there's a lot of different. 94.
94.
It's a special thing.
Say it again. We haven't had a lightning strike again, so
It's came a few times.
You grow in size by one category. So you are now a large child. This lasts for 30 minutes.
So at least.
Well, she would as a child would she have been small? So is she just kind of like back to Valari's regular size?
True.
But
I mean, she's
Yeah.
looking like a child?
That's what I'm
she
saying.
looks exactly how she does as a child, but she's larger now.
At least my clothes fit again.
Yep.
But do the clothes change with wild magic?
He said they didn't.
For your age, no, but for your growth, they would. So you have big baggy clothes. You're just like a big
How
child.
long is this one for?
30 minutes.
For 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay.
This is great.
Okay. Well, because of that, I hadn't decided what I was gonna do, but I'm gonna go with the chromatic orb at 3rd level.
And is that your final 3rd level, or how many more do you have?
No, that's my last 3rd level.
Okay, I was gonna
only
say.
have 3.
Whew.
And that's gonna hopefully hit, because that's a 19.
19 total?
Yeah.
It does hit.
Now, I gotta pick my damage.
I'm not helping you on this.
I know, but they can, because they might know. Now, I don't know how this works. Since he's like a demon thing, would he be
You can roll on.
prone to
Just to
cold?
clarify, are you asking us to metagame?
Yes, she
Is that metagaming?
It is.
What's that?
You could
I don't-
roll on your
okay.
history.
Fine, I'll do it. Well, I can't do a check and...
Do a check because you're thinking through what to cast it as. It's at disadvantage.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I know I gotta grab this other one. History at disadvantage is 11 plus... It's 12.
It's a 12. You vaguely recall you probably don't want to cast fire, and you probably don't want to cast poison, but you don't know what they are susceptible to.
Then we'll just go with my favorite and my go-to, and we'll go with lightning. And that is 5d8. You'd think I'd know that by now. That's a 6.
It's a good thing that Blacksmith Craft Dice comes with certain extra dice because Lindsay always needs extra dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the D&D 5e set. Is there an extra D20 and extra D6s?
No,
there-
just 3 d6s. I could use extra d8s, but
There's
D8.
2 extra D6s.
yeah, there's 3 d6s.
Because chromatic orb
I
is her
use a lot.
favorite.
Well, a lot of my stuff uses D8s. I
true.
feel. I guess it's
We
kind
need
of
things
all
that use
over.
D12s. Not enough D12s get used.
My great axe.
I think I've used it once. Anyways, let's see. That's 10. That's and another 11. So that's 21, 22.
22 points of damage. You hit this thing hard, and a bunch of bones fly out the backside as the chromatic orb blasts through it.
Yeah, boy.
This thing is barely standing. Now,
Oh.
Come on, Thaddeus!
I always do this. I
Thadric,
get
sir.
Thadric tosses his little fuzzy puff onto the ground in front of this creature, or as close as he can to it.
okay?
And it is a, let's see, that's a 6 on the die, which works out to be a giant badger.
Giant badger it is. Appears right in front of this bone devil.
He appears. That was my action to throw it. My bonus action will be to command it to attack this thing, this
All right.
bone devil. I'm trying to pull up its stats here.
I have
It has
right
a bite.
here.
It has a bite and a claw. I'm gonna go with the bite here.
It can multi-attack for its.
Can it? Oh,
Yep.
well then it's gonna do a bite and a claw.
One with its bite and one with its claw.
All right. So the bite itself. Let's see. That's probably gonna miss. With it's only a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
That probably misses. But we have a
Misses.
claw here. Maybe I can claw it to death with my badger. No, I cannot claw it to death with my badger.
All right, the badger lashes out and snarls at the thing and doesn't do any damage. Garth, how do you want to finish
Garth?
this thing?
Well, I mean, if he
Catapult
sees
one of its own bones.
that it's just barely hanging on, he's just gonna auto hit it with magic missile again,
There you go.
and I won't bother to ask for another dice. I'm gonna hope that, because I cast it at second level the
okay.
last time, so this is just first level. Maybe I should have asked for more dice. Does 4 points? Oh wait, you know what? I forgot to add the +1 last time. Because I get +1 per missile, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's actually 7 points, and last time it should have been like 14.
You missed out on last time, but 7 points does shatter this bone devil, and it crumbles in front of you, and then it sinks back into the ground as if it's being eaten up back to where it came from. As it goes away, on either side, one in front and one behind, you hear a whoosh sound on either side of this pathway. A whoosh in front of you, and out of nowhere, a nightmare appears. The flaming horse, a rider being another devil on top of it, and behind a flaming horse, the same. And they're calling out in Infernal as well. And Valari hears, "Death comes, death comes, death comes." And as she hears that, they begin charging in at the group. And the moment they're just close enough to get to attack you, a cloud of smoke emanates around the party, and it goes silent as these nightmares kind of hit and explode into the sides of the smoke and disappear. And then the entire area is incredibly quiet, like eerily silent. And out of one of the walls walks a figure. A tall, slender, ghostly figure. One that's fairly familiar, carrying a book. And he walks up and looks at all of you. and you recognize him to be the librarian.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
And the librarian looks at all of you, and he's got a look of fear on his face. And he holds the book out without saying a word, and he opens it up. And this ethereal book that he holds in his hands begins emanating a very thick black smoke the instant it's opened. And he takes a big sigh and goes, This shouldn't be happening. I'm going to need your assistance. Please, come with me and I will return you when we solve this. And as he motions behind, the wall he walked through turns into a stone archway, and through that archway you see a path that leads out of the forest, but it doesn't seem to be the same forest. And about 20-30 feet out of the forest into the clearing, there is a mound, and on top of that mound there is an old home sitting. And the home is lit by moonlight, even though where you're at it's midday.
Does the house have any doors or windows?
The house has no doors or windows.
I knew it!
And this old home, it looks like you're looking at the side of it.
Is there a fog rolling in?
There is not a fog rolling in at the moment. You're standing in smoke. He closes the book and he shows it to you all. And the name that had been written on the binder, or on the binding, is all sorts of like sliced up. And the binding of the book is all torn up. And he goes, This never happens to the books in the library, but this poor soul no longer has control of their destiny. And he looks over at Thadric and turns his head a little bit. You're new to this group, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well,
You'll get along great here.
you're in for an adventure, sir. I will quickly explain. This book is a book of destiny, life. The entirety of one could be contained in a book. I am the guardian of said books in the library, and normally nothing happens to them. Until you die and I dot the final sentence in your book. They stay on the shelf and carry your life story. This one, however, has been tainted. And he begins walking to the archway and speaks as he's walking. Madam Ari, I know you've had trouble with these books in the past, and we're glad to see you are returning. I don't know who is the owner of this one, but it must be stopped before more books become susceptible. And he walks out through the archway into this moonlit clearing. And at this point, a fog rolls in. And here's where we will end our episode for the evening.
Spooky.
Oh.
You guys didn't tell me again.
Oh my gosh.
So,
You have to catch up on Halloween episode last year. This guy's a returner.
we I think last year we streamed on the 31st again, correct? If not, it was a day or two offset.
Yeah,
That's not
it
how
was-
Saturdays work unless it was a leap year.
This,
It was
I
a
think
leap
it was.
year.
This
I thought we
year
did, like,
was
the
a
week
leap
before.
year,
Yeah, it was
right?
something. It was something.
It was close enough to our Halloween episode. So we have a Halloween episode as our next one. Our weeks are shifted a little bit, so we're not playing again in 2 weeks, but we will be playing again on the 31st. So because most places don't have trick-or-treating, we'll have a spooky episode that you can join us. Bring your candy, bring your beer, whatever it may be that you trick-or-treat
Getting
for.
costume.
Get in costume. Join us on our Discord for that. And as the players kind of wrap the session, stay here for just a second. We will raid another channel and hang tight.
Dad
Cool,
is
cool.
streaming.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you again to everyone who's donated today, welcoming Jared in so well. He had a couple nat 20s. I don't know if you still have any, Jared, but the way we do things here is if you had something donated to you, you get to hold on to it until the next show.
Well, I used them. I used them with
Good
my
job.
Like right
My little-
away. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
my little
that's right.
surprise. I'm a rogue.
Smash. Yeah.
So we do want to say thank you for, again, all those donations, for coming out and supporting us. We also want to say thank you to people like Blacksmith Craft Dice, who gave us those dice that rolled the amazing nat 20s to help us, and also the amazing nat 1s to give us some fun story moments. Thank you to Critical Treasures, who started by making amazing dice bags, but has gone into a full realm of D&D RPG madness. Thank you, Penguin Witch Doctor, for the happy birthday wishes again. Check out Critical Treasures on Etsy is where their shop is. They're also on Instagram. And we also want to give a shout out to Caffeinated Kobold, which is an amazing RPG-themed caffeinated group. Looks like we're gearing up to raid the DAT
We
network,
are.
so I'm going to wrap it up really quick as just more thank yous to everybody here. Check us all out on the social medias, and if you missed any of the episode, we're on demand and also in podcast form wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And let's go raid, give some shout outs in channel, and have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See ya!
Bye.
Say bye.